Hello, I'm here. I'm live. Hello, everyone. And on the replay, I guess, I don't know. I see a like already, which is cool. Hello, mystery person. I'm just going to check if it's all good. I forgot what I was doing. My channel. I hope I'm on the right channel. Because that... Oh, yeah, I'm in the right channel. Okay, well, looks good. Oh, there is advertisements. Hi, whoever's here. How are you? How are you? I'm just checking to make sure that you can hear me and all that. Oh, sounds a lot better on this, meaning you guys can hear me better than I hear myself in this room, because all I hear is echoes. It's like I might as well be in a chapel or something. It's very, very echoing here. So hi, Gina C. How are you? I didn't really have a plan for today. I knew that I wanted to go live, but I didn't really choose a topic. And the reason for that is I have been very busy doing some stuff, making videos for this channel and making videos for my other channel that I've been neglecting for a long time, and finishing the book and all this other stuff. I'm working on something quite interesting that I don't want to spoil. But yeah, and then I started getting creeped out by this office, and I'm like, I should definitely do this live stream so that I can have some company here. Hello, Lou. Thank you, thank you. That's makeup. So basically, we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. I'll start by, I guess, telling you why I'm creeped out. I'm like hearing noises. I'm all alone in this. Probably shouldn't be telling people it's live, but I'm all alone in this office. Nobody's here on weekends, which is perfect for me because I can just be here and get a bunch of work done and do this live stream. But it just gets kind of creepy, because here's the thing, is that it's an open office, right? Anybody with access, like anybody who pays for space here, can just come in and out whenever they want. And so I never really know if someone's here or not. Like, there's multiple entrances and exits. And yeah, so I could be sitting here and then it's completely quiet. And then I'm like, what if there's like a murderer hiding in the closet or something? So I'm just kind of creeped out. And I hear noises that I'm like, oh my God, is this place haunted? I'm pretty sure I don't know. I'm creeped out enough to legitimately think that this place is haunted. What happened? Hi, Timothy. What happened is it really haunted? I don't know for sure, but I'm just a little creeped out. I hear noises when nobody seems to be here, and I feel like I see things in the corner of my eye, and I'm just like, I don't know. And I stay here late at night. Like, I try to be here. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Timothy. Hi, Wild Tiny Life. If I did not say your name, it's going good, Cindy. Thank you. So, yeah, I try to be here when nobody else is here, for a variety of reasons, and that means nights and weekends. I used to try to do nights, mornings, and weekends, but then I just got really burnt out really quickly. Thank you, Cindy. Oh yeah, that's right. I never had my hair down on this, eh? Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, let me tell you, I have a story to tell you. I have a story to tell you guys. Yeah, so anyways, late at night, I don't think I tend to spook easy lately, but I mean, in general, in life, over the past however many months, years, whatever. But in this place in particular, when it starts to get late at night, hey, Rainbow, I don't know, you ever be in a place and then you just start getting a weird vibe? That's kind of what I get. And then I start to think about what might be going on outside when I leave. And I'm like, I hope I don't get jumped walking from the door to my car. And hey, Mike. All right, Cape Breton. I've been there. I like it. It's a good place. It's nice and chill. It's very calm and relaxing. It's a good place to take a vacation. Um, yeah, and I'm just like, is it my imagination? Am I just making it up because it's late and I'm creeping myself out, or is there something there? Because like I can generally get a sense of energy. I'm sure a lot of other people can relate. Hey, Justin, when you walk into a room and you're just like, I am not comfortable here. I'm going to leave right now. Or you walk into a room and you're like, oh, this feels really good. I like it in here, that kind of thing. So, yeah. And other people have been like, oh, there's nothing to worry about. But then weird things happen. And I'm just like, I think you're full of it, because I think I have legitimate reason to be feeling these weird vibes. Like, why are the cops here all the time? Like, why is this weird guy standing at the corner in the dark all the time? Like, just things like that kind of validate why I'm feeling these weird, creepy feelings. And hey, Justin, how am I doing? I'm doing good. I'm good. Pretty good. I'm exhausted, like usual. And I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, so yesterday, here's a story. I have a couple stories. So yesterday, I'm sitting here. It was Saturday yesterday, so I was the only one here. I'm generally the only one here all weekend. This morning, the cleaning lady came while I was here. Usually I come in after she's here, but she came in while I was here. So that's about it. But yesterday, someone came in, and like, people have access. They come in and they do whatever, and then they leave, right? But this guy comes in, and it seemed like because there's like a separator thing there that I can't see on the other side of it unless I move. And so they couldn't see me either. And I was quiet because I was reading something. And it sounded like they walked in and then they stood still, like they were listening to see if someone else was in here. And I waited a couple minutes, and then I moved my computer so that they could hear it slide on the desk, so they could tell that I was in here. And they didn't seem to hear me or something. And then they walked over to the cabinets and they started looking through the cabinets. Like, people don't go in the cabinets. They go to their desk or they go to an office. And this guy went to the cabinets, which is where people's mail is kept and stuff like that. And so he's going through the cabinets, and I look over and I'm like, hi. And he's like, hi. Oh, someone's in here. Okay, have a good day. And then he walked out. Like, what was that? And I went to, after he left, I'm just like, that was weird. I'm sitting there thinking about it. That was weird. And then I texted the owners. I was like holding my phone. I'm like, should I even tell them it's their place? Are they even going to care? I'm like, forget it. I'm going to tell them. Like, it's not my responsibility, but I'm like, okay, well, I was here. I might as well tell them that this thing happened and it was kind of weird. Like, it's someone, I'm here a lot, and I've seen people that come here, and I've never seen this guy before. And I've been coming here for a couple weeks now. So it was just weird. Don't recognize a guy, weird thing happened. So I'm like, I'm going to tell them. I text them, I tell them. Then I go to the kitchen, and I noticed, so I have this bag, like I had a bag like this with like my rice cooker and my food and stuff in it. But I'm a little OCD, and I recognize that I just didn't remember exactly the details of what happened. But normally I close things. Even if I don't close them completely, I close. So like, if I got something out of the bag, I would have just like shoved it closed after. You know what I mean? Force of habit. And when I walked into the kitchen, it was like this, as if someone had been looking in it. And I'm like, that's weird. Did I leave it like that? And it's just these little things. It's just like weirded me out. And then, so I don't know, one of the owners came and like looked around, and like checked on the place, and the other owner texted me back going, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's fine. Nothing ever happens. Therefore, nothing ever will." Like, I'm just like, that really doesn't make me feel very safe. So hence part of the reason why at night I'm just like a little creeped out, because I'm like, okay. And they kind of rely on the fact that they have a couple of cameras as their security. I'm like, not new. I am not new. And I know that, like, if someone comes in and robs the place or kills me, the cameras are not going to stop it. Cameras only assist afterwards. And if someone killed me, the cameras might help. Not that I'm saying that I think that that's going to happen. I'm just speaking logistics. But if someone robbed the place, the cameras wouldn't do anything. They would do nothing. You can give the footage to the cops, it would do nothing. The only thing it does is it shows the insurance company that you legitimately got robbed. That's about it. They're not going to catch the guy. And you're not going to get your stuff back. You know what I mean? So, hi, Marae. Oh, let me see what's going on here. Could be someone living there. That's true, but I'm here a lot, like late hours and stuff like that. And like, there's another guy that stays super late. I see him all the time. Like, so like he probably sleeps here half the weekend. I don't, you know what I mean? He's fine. He doesn't weird me out. It's very straightforward. You don't need a key. You need a passcode, which everybody can have. You can give your passcode to someone else and then they have the passcode. Or you can rent the place 1 month and have the passcode, and then several months later or whenever later, you still have the passcode. So anyone can come in at any time that has the passcode. I do that too, Rainbow. I check the bathrooms, every bathroom, every change room. I'm always like looking around meticulously, like for a little red light or some little thing that's out of place or whatever, to see if there's a camera somewhere. This is the world we live in now. Thank you, Cindy. I will watch my back. I always do. Hi, Marae. Just missed the first 40 minutes. Oh, no. It's impossible. You did not miss the first 40 minutes. I just got here. 12 minutes. We've been live 12 minutes. I would be tempted to ask, how often do they change the passcode? Yeah, I agree, Stacy. And I'm afraid to ask partly because I don't think that they're going to tell me the truth if I did. Not, they may or they may not, and I have no way to validate that. And also, I feel it feels like they don't see what I see. Like, I don't know if any of you can relate to this. This might be due to growing up with narcissists as parents who invalidate everything that you see. Like, hey, that's not okay. That's toxic, or that's dumb. Why are you doing that? You're actually making the problem worse when you do that. And then people ignoring you and treating you like you're the idiot and gaslighting you. So I grew up with this complex where I'm just like, people just don't see what I see. But that's because I was in a toxic environment. You know what I mean? But still, there are environments where people just don't see what I see, and trying to explain it to them is futile, because if someone doesn't get it, they don't get it. You know what I mean? Like trying to explain to some men a lot of the time why women don't feel safe in certain circumstances. And they're just like, I was talking to this guy a couple weeks ago that said he always goes for these walks super late at night, and he had this walking partner who was a woman, and he couldn't go for walks anymore late at night because he had an injury. And he's like, but you should keep doing it. Don't stop. And she's like, hell no, are you crazy? I'm not going for a walk in the woods myself. Are you nuts? Like at night? No way. And he's like, I don't get it. And then she had to explain it to him, like, because we could get killed. That's why. So sometimes people just don't get it. And it felt very invalidating to understand the logic of how that you're giving a passcode out, anyone can come in and out. I am well aware of how cameras work. I'm well aware of the angles and how things, like if I wanted to do something, this is all the possible things that I could do and get away with it. You know what I mean? And to understand how things can play out. Like there's a reason why women listen to murder mystery podcasts, because we're strategizing to protect ourselves. We need to know what the possibilities are of how we're going to get attacked so that we can try to prevent it from happening. Yeah. And yeah, so you're trying to explain this to someone, or you feel unsafe because to you it's so obvious, and to them they're just like, it's fine, nothing's ever happened, so it'll never happen. And you're just like, are you new? Are you like 40 years old that has no life experience? That's not how life works. Hi, Constant Van Life. After my rant. So the other story I wanted to tell you was, is this worth telling you guys? I told people on Patreon this, I think already, but just that, why am I telling you this? The gym around here. So I strategically planted myself here because of my resources in the area, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. So I got this gym that I can use for, working out in showers and whatever else. And the owner there, I don't know if he's a misogynist or just like has little man syndrome or what, but basically I can't go to that. Can't go to that gym anymore. Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't, yeah. So he was being an idiot, and I stood up to him. And because I stood up to him, he was just like, he got mad, and he like called my gym, the one where I signed up, and tried to cause problems, and they're fine with me. And they're like, what the hell is this guy's problem? And, he tried to like block me from like all the gyms, which is just, so yeah. How do you like the new van compared to the Sprinter? Pros and cons. Oh, hey, Stuart. Welcome. I have a good friend in Australia. Her name's Jess. You didn't miss much. Constant Van Life. We're only 15 or so minutes in. Pros and cons with the vans. There was a lot of room in the Sprinter compared to the Caravan, but I don't know, pros and cons. If I would not get another Sprinter because Sprinters are expensive to fix and they have problems and whatever else. If I was to get a high roof, I would do probably a cargo van and then extend the roof. And because it's cheaper than getting like a Transit or something like that. And yeah, I guess I would just be careful with the gas, but my Grand Caravan needs like a new fuel pump or something, or a fuel injector or something. So it's not the best on gas either. So there's that. Why what, Cindy? I would imagine you're talking about the gym situation, but do you want to ask me, like elaborate on what you're asking? I listened to that one. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was the owner, dude. He was the owner. He was the owner, and he was acting like a real, like he goes home and and pleasures himself to Andrew Twat videos. Hi, Nana. We are leaving the island next week, I think. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Where are you off to? Are you coming to the mainland? Are you leaving the province? The kitties are in the van napping. It's a sunny day, so they're chilling in the sun. They are good. Again, they seem very comfortable. Every day I'm just like, I got to get you guys more space. I don't like this. They seem fine, but I don't like it. You got a box truck. Nice. That's nice. How is it, Cindy? Oh, wait. No, you're telling me to get a box truck. Maybe. How's the gas on it, though? Oh, right on, Constant. Um, I'll tell you what, though, this winter has been my favorite winter ever, ever, ever in my whole life. All for many, many years, I kept saying over and over again, I am going to leave Quebec and never, never deal with another winter again. I'm like, I'm not going to be here this winter. Then the winter comes. Damn it! I am not going to be here next winter. And then the winter comes. And I finally made it out. And last winter was not fun. I don't know what happened, but it was like all the Arctic outflow stuff or whatever. There was a major storm and it was very cold. It was not fun. And this year we got like 1 week of that or something. You know, we have a cold snap warning right now at -2. I'm like, you guys are kidding me. Where do you think you live? Like, this is a warning. This is a t-shirt day in Quebec. I haven't worn my winter coat in like a month. And it's January. This is amazing. Oh, about the Sprinter. Okay. I know. Yeah. Yes, Rainbow. I want to give them the best. Hey, Kat. I will come to Ohio at some point. At some point, I will come to Ohio. I would like to see all the states and just like, yeah, I don't know how things are going to go, but I don't see why I wouldn't go to Ohio. You got sun here yesterday. Yeah, exactly. We have sun here for a couple days. Lori. Hi, Lori. Hi, Lori. Oh, you're in Nanaimo, Lori. No way. That's cool, man. We could have hung out. Yes, winter has been mild. It's amazing. Hi, Mystique. Cindy, you're in Ohio too? No way. That's awesome. Where am I on the mainland? I will not tell anybody. I am in a secret, undisclosed location. Oh, Nana, you're sick of the winter, eh? I hate the winter, but you should come to Vancouver. 80 plus there. I don't know what that is in Canadian, though. But yeah, your weather in Florida is nutballs. Thank you, Alas. I do have friends in Florida. I have several friends in Florida. Who else is in Florida? Somebody recently, something Florida, and for some reason I can't put my finger on it. My brain is, dang it, I don't remember. But yeah, I will. Oh, okay, yes, I remember who's in Florida. Oh, yeah, okay. Someone who was working with me on my campaign just moved to Florida. So yeah, I definitely have a few people that I would hang out with when I go down there. I said, when? Because it's going to happen. Got to make it happen. Springfield? Which Springfield? There's like a million Springfields. California, nice. By the time I reached out to, oh, yeah, I just missed you. But you know what? It did. If I was stressed and all this stuff was going on, it's probably for the best. I will be back, probably. You're in Wisconsin, Nana. That's cool. 26 Celsius. Thank you for looking that up. That is a beautiful temperature. Goodyear Heights in Metro Park. I got to assume you're not talking to me, Kat. Do I ever run into Chrome? I used to run into Chrome all the time when I was on the island and he was on the island. But the first time I met him was in North Vancouver, and then a bunch of times on the island. But then he left, went on a road trip, and I was dealing with my life being in shambles. And also, I don't like his girlfriend, and so I just avoid him now. How do you get to be financially independent? I'm asking because I am in a narcissistic relationship with my current roommate, but can't afford his half of the bills. Okay, so you're currently paying for his bills. Who's on the lease? Because if you're on the lease and he's not on the lease, you kick him out. If he is on the lease and you're not on the lease, you leave and you stop paying the bills altogether and you go find something that you can afford with only your name on it. If you're both on the lease, I was going to say, then it's complicated because it depends where you are, depends what happens if you get evicted. Is that like, how does that affect you? That kind of thing. How does it affect your credit? Does it give you a record or whatever it is? Otherwise, definitely don't sign another lease with them. But that is a whole, first you got to break away from them, because what they do is they suck you dry, and anytime you get a step forward, they sabotage your progress. So you got two things you want to do: is you hide everything that you're doing, all the progress that you're making, you hide it as much as possible. And you get away from them as soon as possible by whatever means necessary. If that means cutting your losses, that means cutting your losses. I have literally paid to get rid of narcissists in my life. I had this woman living with me, hard knock education, whatever. So there was this older woman that I used to work with, and it's funny because my gut instinct, like my first instinct was, this woman, there's something majorly wrong with her. But then afterwards, I ended up getting manipulated out of my own instincts, and we became friends while she had the mask on, or put the mask back on. And then we ended up moving in together at some point because I don't even remember exactly. We found this really nice apartment in my favorite part of Montreal, and we were so we moved in together. And from the the day, everything was fine. She was great, mask on. The day we started to move in, I moved her in first, and then I was going to move in a few days later or something like that. And the day she moved in, the day was when the mask, I don't even know if it was a mask, came off at that point, but she became a nightmare and was consistently a nightmare from that point on. And I'm talking like calling 911 and telling them that I tried to threaten to kill her dog, kind of shenanigans, just an absolute nightmare. And it was like night and day. And so what ended up happening was, somehow I ended up convincing her that it was her idea to move out for the best. And then again, the day that she was moving out, she was like, I ended up just giving the movers money. I think I ended up paying the movers myself, or a part of it, or I ended up tipping them or something. I know that I gave them cash, and then I ended up paying the rent all by my damn self, because I'm like, I've got two options: to live in hell or to give all my money to rent. I'm like, I'm gonna work to be free from this. So it is not easy. I'll put it that way. It is not easy to break free financially from a narcissist, or to break free from a narcissist, but it's well worth it. And the best thing that you can do is learn from that circumstance, a situation, and try to never do it again. Of course, you're going to do it again, but eventually you'll stop doing it. Eventually you'll learn to see these people coming and get out, or at least to not put yourself in a situation with anybody ever that you're dependent on them, or you're in that situation where if they turn on you, then you're screwed, kind of thing. I'm scrolling up to see what is going on. How good is my German? Es ist nicht gut, aber es ist nicht bad. Mein Deutscher ist nicht gut. Does that answer your question? Where were we? That was a good question. You met Emmy in Chrome. Emmy was very quiet. I'm sure she was, because she's very insecure. Okay, here we go. Live by the East. It's totally possible, Murray, but I don't think we talked about anything too crazy. But there's a replay too, if you ever want to watch it. Ohio, Springfield, Ohio. Nice. That's cool. Vancouver is pretty beautiful. It's definitely a place to visit. I don't know about living here. Oh, yeah, the border restrictions. There shouldn't be. It's just my personal situation was complicated. But that you didn't have to get, you don't need you don't need the thingy. YouTube. You know what I mean. You don't need special things. You don't need special medical procedures to cross the border. There we go. Did I say Scheiße? Yes, I did. Ich habe gesagt Scheiße. Yes. Ich habe gelernt Deutsch in der Schule, aber es ist nicht gut. Would love to meet up if you make it back. Yes, no, totally, Lori. Absolutely would love to chill when I'm on the island. She's saying the other half pays for, they split, I think. Is it? Who was it? Dang it. Kate Tier? Cat vlogs. I'm going to say cat vlogs. Cat vlogs! My God, you work a lot, bro. Yeah, cat vlogs. If you want to share the details, it's one of my favorite things to talk about. Why don't I like his girlfriend? Because she was a total douchebag to me. And I don't tolerate that Scheiße. I'm not saying that she's a bad person, and I'm not saying that anybody else should follow suit, and I'm not saying that anyone should dislike her because of my experience. I just don't like to have my voice suppressed about my own personal experiences. If someone treats me poorly, we can either acknowledge it and talk about it, or I'm going to talk about it and you can pretend it didn't happen, but I'm still going to talk about it either way. I don't mind, discussing it and coming to resolutions, but I'm not going to pretend it didn't happen, because I'm not the type of person that kisses people's butts because of whatever, to maintain an appearance in public, or to potentially collaborate with bigger YouTubers or whatever. There are YouTubers on YouTube that are doing well for themselves because they talk shit behind people's backs, and then they're super friendly to their faces. And I'm not that person. I will never be that person. And I will grow as slow as I need to maintain my own values and not compromise. Okay, bye, constant van life. Cat. I was married to narcissist for 12 years, had 3 kids with him. My God, I'm sorry. It's 2023 and he is still bad mouthing me to my kids. That is probably going to happen for the rest of your life, my dear. I'm very, very sorry. And I pray that you're likely what's going to happen is your kids are going to get older and they're going to see the truth and they're going to break free from it themselves. It's just going to be a little bit of a rough ride until then. So I'm very, very sorry that that's happening. And I'm glad you got divorced. Good move. That's why I'm terrified to live with people. You never know someone until you live with them. Yes. Chrome posted a video about his past life in an apartment. Now I understand why he moved into van life. I hate city life. Yeah, it's very expensive here. I've only heard stories about people's horrible rent situations. I haven't personally experienced it, but I've looked up places and it's pretty expensive. It's doable, but it's expensive. Like overall cost of living is very expensive here. People are basically living to work and working to live, which is a horrible way to live. I mean, I'm generalizing, so I can't say that that's everybody's experience, but it seems like a popular trend. Oh, it's okay, Laura, you're here now. Carly Rose, I'm stuck living with Nightmare Family, had to move back home after having my own home for most of my adult life and lost the home. Not mentioning your progress. Yeah, exactly. You don't show them your cards. Yes, Laura tried living in her car. It was a catastrophe. Maybe a van one day. It ended up broke down. I'm glad that you are home and safe. I'm glad that it didn't go worse than it did. Hello, love you, Charlie, for life, forever. Thank you for joining us. Yes, what Rainbow is alluding to right there is the thing that you don't need at the border. Cindy says, yep, you're right. Cat vlogs. Man, I don't know how to pronounce your first name. We split the rent. Uh-oh, okay. Okay. And yep, I would expect that would happen to your credit. It's a thing that happens. Yep, that's a thing that happens. Okay, but who's on the lease? Who is on the lease? The gas seems to be about the same as it has been for a while. I don't know if anybody else has a different opinion, but I have video clips of the ride up here over a year ago with the gas prices on it, but I haven't looked, but I remember it being about the same. Safer apartments. Yeah, I know having pets makes it difficult to get a place. But you can try to get a place with a roommate that is not your narcissistic partner. Or you can rent a room in someone else's place or something like that. You know what I mean? There are options. So right now you're asking how to become financially independent, but you are financially independent. You are working 40 hours a week and you're making an income. The issue is that cost of living is expensive, and you have someone in your home who is making life way more difficult. He's the leaseholder. Leave, woman. Or man, I'm not sure. Sorry. Leave. 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 Sorry, I shouldn't be telling you what to do, but leave. He's the leaseholder. You're paying the bills on his apartment. Leave. Free yourself. Get another place, whether you get a place that you can afford on your own or you get a place with a roommate that is not him or whatever it is. Get the F out. Free yourself, my God, because you do not need to. Why pay all the rent and then have his toxic butt in your space? Either pay all the rent and not have his toxic butt in your space, or find another way to not have to pay all the rent without him there. That's my advice. I get very passionate about this stuff. What are we talking about, Stella Grace? What happened where? Hi, Judah Buddha. 59 cents. Where are you again? And is that Ohio? I don't remember now. Many people told me I have a bad memory with stuff like that. I'm really sorry. A very, very bad memory. I blame my neurodivergence. Yeah, it's harder to find a place with pets. How about you get out like what you be doing right now? How about you get out like what you be doing right now? Who are we talking to, Stella? Are we talking to me? Are we talking to cat vlogs? I think we're talking. Are we all encouraging cat vlogs to free themselves? Let's do that. What do you guys think cat vlogs should do? And then I'll tell you who's wrong. Yeah, best opinion is to find a way out. Georgia. Okay, cool. Georgia. Thanks, Murray. What's going on? All right. Okay. So what you guys want to talk about? Who has some questions? Thank you, Stella. Thank you. The answer is to get out, but how? It is not easy to find good roommates or places if she has cats. Any roommate is potentially better than living with an abuser. So either, I mean, you could say, well, what if they're a serial killer? Okay, well, the chances of that are very low, and trust your gut and vet the person when you meet them and you talk to them and you ask them questions and you feel them out and you see what your gut tells you, just like with anything else. But if you already live with a shitty person who's bringing you down, then you got like a 50% chance of dealing with either the same garbage or a better situation. Yes, you did, Oreo. Yay, thank you. That's okay. And you know what? There's still time. And if for some reason you decide that you want to upgrade, I will refund you the difference. That's I put that on the page as well. So what she's talking about is I have a crowdfunding page that I set up. So people on my channel in general, a lot of the time, tell me to open my Patreon so that they can send me money, and I don't like that. I don't want to accept money from people for nothing. So what I did was I set up a crowdfunding page, which is essentially meaning that you're going to purchase something from me. So I have a variety of packages. I think I have like 4 packages where I'm writing a book. Well, I'm almost done the book. The book is essentially done. It just needs some things added to it, and then it has to go to a copy editor. But so it's almost done. But it's a book on self-love, like my formula for how I learned self-love after basically having my self-esteem destroyed from decades of abuse. And so on this crowdfunding page, so if you go to questoutwest.com, there's a tab called contribute or something like that. And that is where you can pre-order a copy of the book, or there's a variety of packages. You can either get, off the top of my head, there's like a package with the ebook and a discount code for the merch store. And then there's the tier above that is a hard copy, soft cover book signed with everything before that. So you get also the audiobook and stuff like that. I don't remember what else, but there's a couple things. So if you feel like it, you can go check that out. Oh my God, Stella, I'm so sorry. That's horrible. Wait, who's talking to you like what? What? Who's talking to her? I hope you don't think that I'm talking to you like that, because I'm not. Is somebody being mean to Stella? The answer, whatever doesn't nurture your soul, you have to leave behind. Absolutely, Kat, you're totally right. What is your favorite movie? What's my favorite movie? That's something that I should think about. I have many favorite things. I don't have a favorite thing except for a favorite color. That's about it. But as for movie, I like a lot of movies. The Matrix trilogy. There's a lot of things, but now I'm trying to figure out what is going on that. Oh, Stella, you're not you're not gonna live with serial killers. First of all, I don't understand what's going on here. So there was someone in this chat called Cat Vlogs, and that's who I was talking about when I was telling them to leave. I was not telling Stella, I was not telling you to leave. I was telling Cat Vlogs to leave their current narcissist. That was the topic that we were discussing. We were encouraging this person to free themselves from a toxic living situation. How did we get here? Weekly rent motel, that's always an option. There's also living in your vehicle. Hey, patchouli girl. Judah Buddha, do I believe everything happens for a reason? I believe that that everything happens as a result of something. I believe that certain things have been predestined or are destined in the moment out of your control, whether it be your higher self or something else that is determining that is going to help happen. And then I believe that there is a large aspect to do with us creating our experience in this realm of what we put out is what we attract, kind of thing. What we project our perspective onto, like the holodeck of the Matrix, and then that's what we experience. Is there a specific reason that you're asking? Catblog says, I'm looking into debt consolidation. That's a great idea to get the debt at a lower number starting therapy. That's also a good idea. To get an ESA license for my cats, I have no idea what that is. I would just caution you that when you do get therapy, be very careful about your therapist and don't be afraid to change them out if they are not for you, because not all, and like try to get somebody that understands narcissistic personality disorder, because they don't all, like, they all know that it exists. They have a DSM, but they don't necessarily have experience with it. And some of them are narcissists themselves. So be careful, because there are, and it's not just coming from me and my personal experience with therapists, but also many other people who have had weird experiences with therapists, and therapists themselves, good ones, warning people as well. Be careful who your therapist is, because they are not all equipped to deal with NPD. And for example, sometimes you get that couples therapist that is not well versed in NPD, and starts taking the side of the narcissist because she's being manipulated, doesn't understand the dynamics and what's really going on, and then starts telling them just to communicate more and stay together, which is not what you tell people. So yeah, just definitely do your research and be careful. Find someone who knows what they're talking about, and don't be afraid to switch them out if it doesn't feel right. If they are invalidating you, or you feel more like bad about yourself after you leave with them, those are red flags. I don't understand if Stella is bipolar. What is going on? I'm getting, what are you guys reading? Reading these comments, because I'm so confused. If that really happened to you though, Stella, with your dog, I'm really, really sorry about that. That's really, really sad. I'm very sorry. That's heartbreaking. Thank you, Nana. I guess that means you're leaving? Awesome. Laura likes the Matrix too. Glenna says, if you are not respected and supported in a relationship, it's best to leave. Exactly. However, be very secretive about your steps to do so. Have a plan and support system ready to help you leave. Yes, absolutely. To the best of your ability. Not everybody has the resources, but you do what you can, right? Okay, I'm glad we cleared that up, Stella. Plan it out. Bring someone to help you move. Yeah, don't do it when they're there. Every time I've left a narcissist, I did it without warning, and when they weren't there, they were there 1 minute, they left, I cleaned my shit out, and they showed up, and I wasn't there. It's the only way to do it. It's the only way to do it without cops being called and et cetera, et cetera. There was one time where I didn't do that actually, and cops were called, so didn't make that mistake twice. You're curious. It's one of my favorite topics, Judah Buddha. Love that stuff. I don't know if you're aware of my other channel, but that's a big thing I do. Can I play an instrument? Yes, I can. I play guitar as well as piano, as well as sing, which is my primary thing. And I write songs, and I produce music. My therapist made my PTSD worse. Kept comparing my trauma to his own. My God. Made me recall a lot of abuse and then left it there. Oh my God, Kat, I'm really sorry. This is exactly why I warn people, because just because they have a degree and they call themselves a therapist doesn't mean that they are equipped to help you. And then that's why, like, people complain about coaches. And here's the thing about coaching and why I became a coach, and also, I stopped coaching for whatever, we can get into that, but with coaches, online coaches, in my opinion, their ability to gain clients has more to do with their credibility and their like testimonials, like people seeing what they're capable of doing, or the material that they're putting out, like if they're putting out videos or blogs or whatever. And so you can get a vibe, you get a sense of how they are, how they think, what they do, how they can potentially help you, what their credibility is, and that kind of thing. Whereas with therapists, you're just like, you see the letters after their name, you see that they're a licensed therapist, and you go, I guess maybe they'll help me. You don't really have a good way to know that, you have no way of knowing what they're like until you walk in there. And especially if you have trauma, like for me, I had a hard time. I've been to a couple therapists in my life, and I had a very hard time with it because when you grow up with two narcissists as parents, what happens is everything you say gets used against you. Every time you open up about your feelings, either they immediately use it against you, or they take all the information you give them, put in their pocket, and they tell everyone else and get everyone else against you, or they use it as later date. But either way, every time you open up, things go very bad, right? And then, and I do obviously have the ability to open up. I'm like an open book. But when you are asked to go sit in front of a complete stranger and they ask you, to be open and vulnerable and honest about the most personal stuff, like even just how do you feel, or what do you think about this, or what's your relationship with your parents? Fine, great, it's great. Yep. Why would I feel comfortable telling a complete stranger personal information that they could potentially use against me? That's how it feels. It just puts me in this mode of, I don't know you, I don't trust you, why would I tell you anything? So I found that very difficult, and for good reason, because then there were other times where I'd have therapists where I would open up to, and then they would make me feel invalidated, or they would do something or say something to hurt my self-esteem, basically doing exactly that and using what I said against me. And I'm just like, I can't do this. Therapy is not working for me. You know what I mean? I don't feel safe in therapy. So yeah, like I said, I'm not trying to talk anyone out of it. I'm just giving a different side of it because it's a real side of it that more people need to talk about. Just like how Kat is saying, that was her experience, a very real, legitimate, valid experience that people need to be aware is possible. Just like when you go to a doctor, like I told you guys, the vet situation where I went to a vet, and you're supposed to trust the vet because the vet knows best. The vet went to vet med school or whatever. But what did the vet do? The vet did a whole bunch of tests, charged me a whole bunch of money, traumatized my cat, and then told me to force feed my cat something that she was allergic to. I had to do the research and find the solution and save my cat's life on my own. So, do vets save animals? Yes. Can vets cause harm and not know what the hell they're doing? Yes. Can medical doctors save lives? Absolutely. Can they also not know what the fuck they're doing and cause harm? Yes, very much so. Can a therapist help someone? Yes, very much so. Can a therapist not know what the hell they're doing and cause harm? Absolutely. So you got to do your due diligence and not put your well-being, your safety in unquestioningly into the hands of someone else, of anyone else, just because they have names, letters after their name. Should you eat a strawberry lollipop or a cherry lollipop? Well, Rainbow says strawberry, so I'm going to go with strawberry because there's no point in arguing. um, Okay, good. Stella's taking your advice. Awesome. Welcome, traveling gamer. It's my thing lately as well. Awesome. I love it. If you have any other related questions, let's get into some philosophical discussions. Therapist's only job is to listen and help you organize your trauma so it's not overwhelming. They can't cure anything. Oh, that's the other thing. Oh, your little brother doesn't know about your dog yet. I'm sorry, Stella. Who are we? What are we talking about, Jimmy? Lil Jimmy? Help you process the trauma, but they can't really do much else. I know people in therapy for years, and they're messed up as well. They can, as they were when they first started. This is why I started doing what I was doing with the coaching, and this is why I wrote the book, because I recognized that there were no resources that were actually getting me the results that I wanted. So I went through the process of getting myself out of it. If you knew me, whatever it was, 10, 20 years ago, something like that, I am a completely different person. And I got here probably 10 years. It wasn't that long, but I got here through my own self-work, my own introspection, my own asking questions about why I feel like this and why I react like that, and what I think about this, and also learning from other people and other sources and meditation and all that stuff. But it took a lot of focusing on, like, you have an option when you feel pain in your life, emotional pain, psychological pain. You have a choice in how to deal with it. You can distract yourself and avoid it, or you can face it and try to heal it. And I think most of us do both at different times, right? You can't only do one most of the time. But some people choose more to lean towards avoidance, and that creates addictions. And I did that too. I had addictions, but I've also had many years of choosing over and over again to heal, to face myself, to face my pain, and to heal it. And when you choose enough, you choose over and over enough, long enough to face your stuff, it over time you dig yourself out, and you can dig yourself out of the deepest depths of pain. Things that you think you will never get over, you will eventually get over. Just this past year, I've healed a lot of my CPTSD that was left. I don't remember if I told you guys this, but when I was in Nanaimo, and like that clip that I showed you guys where the security guard was yelling at me in the parking lot, what you guys didn't see was before all of that, he came inside. So when he was inside, I told this story, but when he was inside, I was sitting at my computer working, and he had left angry because I corrected how he was speaking to someone. And he came back in after, and he leaned in. You've seen him, a grown ass man, leaned in, and he's like, "Is that your fan over there?" And like, you know, you're only allowed to stay here 4 hours, whatever. And that triggered my trauma. I had a full flashback, emotional flashback. And my emotional flashback was, everybody hates me. Nobody wants me around. I'm garbage, kind of thing. And I went into this mode, and it wasn't just that. It was the fact that I looked around, and when people have the bystander effect, you ever see those videos where someone's getting mugged or something in the street, and everybody else around is just like, "Oh, look, someone's getting mugged," and nobody does anything about it? The bystander effect. Well, that was happening to me. So this guy's doing whatever, and other people in the restaurant are just looking at me like, and then going back to talk about their gossipy, whatever the crap it was. And I was the problem because I was causing a scene or whatever it was, instead of figuring out what was really going on and doing the just thing. They're just like, ugh, I'm drinking a latte right now and you're being really annoying. So could you please shut up with your being raped situation? Obviously that wasn't what was going on. I'm exaggerating to make a point. But just that whole, nobody around me seemed to care. And then I'd gone to the manager after and I'm like, did you tell him to kick me out? Because I started to get paranoid. I'm like, why is this happening? Why is the security guard coming back? Why is he circling my car? And why is he doing that? Did you tell him to kick me out? What is going on? And I was a regular customer at this point. They knew me and stuff. And she was just giving me like a deer in headlights look. And she's like, no. But so in that moment, my trauma was being triggered. And so I was seeing her as not responding because she really didn't like me and really didn't want me there. Whereas the next day when I like came out of that, I could see what was actually going on was that she has anxiety. I had no idea what was going on. And I showed her the video clip of what happened that day, the day before. And she was like, oh my God, because she didn't know. But my trauma was triggered. And so I had a warped perception of reality because I was having a flashback. I was in a different version of reality. And since that experience, because of the way that I treated myself and I talked myself through it and all this stuff, I have not had a flashback like that since, it's been many months. And so that's actually very, very big progress. And I've been triggered, and it was like a 2 on a scale of 10 instead of like an 8, like that was. So just to say, yeah, with work, you can heal anything, but you have to actually do the work. And the reason that I wrote the book was because I had done so much work on myself and I found solutions, and I'm like, this is so simple. This is just the way I think. I need like structure or plans or whatever. I need it like to make sense. I'm like, okay, this is it. You do this, and then you do that, and then you do that, and then you do that. And that's how you get from here to there. It's so simple. Why doesn't anybody else say this? And so I'm like, I can just write this in a book and teach other people how to do it. And that's what I did. What is going on here? What is this? Okay. Therapists are like parents. They just tell you what you don't want to hear. Yeah, I'm not going to. I mean, maybe in some situations. I don't think that that's what therapy really is, that they're just telling you what you don't want to hear. I think that, anyways, I'm not going to go. Sure. I feel like I am a narcissist magnet. Oh, thank God. Thank God you had more words after that. Though, because my parents are just as bad as my roommate. Most likely, cat blogs. Most likely. Because when we grow up in that environment, that is what feels safe. That is what feels normal. That is what we know. We take on those traits. We learn to interact with people like that in that toxic way. And so when we go out into the world, we seek what is familiar. We see other toxic people and we're like, that's familiar. I understand them. I get them. I'm going to go hang out with them. Or they see certain things in us, whereas if we were scapegoated or abused or whatever, then we have certain characteristics in how we behave. Maybe we have a low self-esteem, that kind of thing. So narcissists are predators. Then when they see the signs that you have a low self-esteem or porous boundaries, they're like, cool, food, and they target you. And another aspect is the fact that more emotionally healthy people see your behavior as a red flag because they see the toxicity that you learned, that you have to learn out of through the healing process, but they see it in you and they're like, I don't want to hang out with you because something's off here. So you have to learn to heal yourself and grow out of the toxic behaviors and toxic habits, and get better boundaries and get a better self-esteem. Like an overgiver, when you're really, really overgiving because you've been trained to do that by your parents or whatever, to always give in and always take care of the other person above your own feelings. Their feelings come first, your feelings don't matter. Then you go out into the real world and you do try to do that with an emotionally healthy person, and they're like, bro, you're really clingy. Like, I can do this. Like, what is going on? Like, get some respect for yourself, kind of thing. So we have to heal ourselves to stop being a magnet for narcissists, but it's absolutely normal. To add salt to wounds, my senior. Oh no! Why is everyone's pets dying? Oh my god! I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. Yeah, I bet you won't, Kat. I wouldn't. Ever thinking about moving to the US? Is that a question for myself? I think about it all the time. Don't tell the Border Patrol. We'll talk about that in a few months. Always, always get in the woods. Nice name. Perfect analogy. Medical malpractice is more common than anyone wants to admit. They are just people, not gods. Exactly. Very well said. I have not seen Wednesday. I heard a lot of stuff. I don't have a Netflix account. I don't remember if I still have Prime, or if I recently canceled it. But I generally, if I did, I only had it for like a month or two. I stopped watching the commercialized shows or whatever, probably over a year now, something like that, because I realized I canceled my Netflix account when they put out that movie with the kids that was very inappropriate, the French movie or whatever. And I'm just like, I'm done. Every time I would open Netflix, I'd see like there was that reality show where everybody was like half naked on the island or whatever. I'm like, I'm sick of this. Half of these shows are propaganda. Half of them are just nonsense, degrading garbage, just pure smut. And I'm not trying to be like a prude, and like, I'm not some like super conservative. Oh, well, don't sleep with anyone ever. I'm just like not interested in having that promoted down my throat, shoved down my throat. Like, I can't just open Netflix and find a good story. You know what I mean? I can't find a good story. I gotta find someone's ass in my face. Come on. So I was just like not interested anymore. I'm not interested in the propaganda. You'll notice that every single show that comes out that lasts more than a season, if the first season is great, the second season will be shit, because by the second season they have started making it woke, and like, it's just like sitting there watching a propaganda campaign where now suddenly everyone, whereas before it was focused on the storyline and you had deep characters and you got attached to them and you got attached to their struggles, then in the very next season it's just like everyone is on the gender spectrum, everyone is on the sexuality spectrum, everyone is on the color spectrum, and everyone is on all of the spectrums, because they're trying really, really hard to appease absolutely everyone. And I love supporting people of all everything, right? But when you sacrifice the purpose of the show or the storyline and all of your energy goes into making sure that all the boxes are ticked. Okay, we got a person like this and a person like that and a person like that and a person like this and a person like that and a person like this, and this person's struggling with that, and this person's got bipolar disorder, and this person's got this. Blah, blah, blah. It's just like, where's the storyline? There's no story anymore. And when there's no story, it's not interesting to watch, and you're just sitting there watching a propaganda campaign. I don't know. I don't know how to better. I don't know how to better explain that. Like, please don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm pro LGBT rights. I'm pro supporting people of all colors and all cultures. I just don't want to sit there and have the storyline sacrificed because people are trying to fit all this other political garbage into the show. Does that make sense? And then at the same time, you'll change to a different show, and it's like catering to PDF files. So I'm just not interested anymore. Hi from Chicago. So all that because someone asked me if I seen Wednesday. With my roommate and my situation, it's a bit in the rocks right now. He is on the road. Oh, that's a great time to get to plan and also take a mental break. I am boarding his 2 cats, and that covers his half of the rent. Oh, okay. Wait, so you're watching his cats? I'm confused. Picking them up. Oh. Picking them up, and I will be left with no way to cover his half of the bills and maybe kicked out if he tells the landlord. You're paying his bills and you're afraid that he's going to kick you out. So you're only there because you are paying his bills. Like, as in, he's only allowing you to stay there because you're paying his bills. So why don't you leave there and pay your own bills? Hi, Jan. Oh, hi, Archer from Poland. I got out of an abusive relationship by walking into a bank and asked them to take me to the back and to call the cops for me. Right on, Glenna. They did, and the police took me to a women's shelter 2 cities away. Right on. I'm very grateful that you had ethical cops show up, because unfortunately that doesn't happen for everybody. But thank you for saving yourself, my God. BK says, hi, Natasha. I get exactly what you mean about talking to a stranger. I've seen a couple. One man who was just okay, then it changed to a woman who clock watched. Yeah, I've had that before. I have had the clock watcher before. Judah Buddha says, if you want to get philosophical, I am Canmond. What? Please elaborate, explain to me what you mean by that. Lucy Lou, hello from Chicago. Hello. Top of that, the apartment is dark like a dungeon. Yuck. Please leave. I'm begging you. I'm begging you to find a way to leave at all costs. And now that he's on the road, would be the absolute best time. You said he's coming back in a month. Put your shit into boxes, call whomever, and get out. That is my best advice to you, and I urge you to please do it. And I know that psychologically it's hard because you're probably thinking about, well, what ifs, or yeah buts, or and thens, and all of those things. And it feels very uncomfortable to make that leap. But I pray, just get really drunk, call a friend that you trust to help you move. Okay, tell them in advance you're going to resist it. Tell them you need to get out. and give them the address. Make sure they know where to show up and when. Then shut your phone off. Put your phone somewhere where you can't do anything stupid with it. Then get wasted. And then just leave. Then just leave. You get your boxes, you put your shit into boxes, you get your friend, you put that shit into boxes, and you get out. You figure out where you're going to go and you go. That's my best advice. The drunk thing is because to lower your inhibitions so that you don't talk yourself out of it, that you just do it, that you're just like, you know what? I'm going to leave because I deserve something better than this, and this guy doesn't deserve anything from me. I'm just going to put my shit in the box. I'm going to take the box. I'm going to go to the corner. Okay. Your life growing up reminds me a lot of my own. I totally get where you're coming from. Oh boy, Kat. Well, I feel your pain. Stella says Wednesday is good and you should watch it. I can understand that because a person would act that way. You just never know. Glenna, my abuser beat me and pulled me down the street by my hair for 3 blocks, and cars just stopped and watched. The 26-year-old woman hit him with her car and saved me. Thank you, girl. Thank you. Thank you. My God. Thank you. Some people are still sane. Thank you, girl. And she, hitting a person with a car is scary because you could go to jail for that, but she must have known how you feel. Thank you. Thank that woman. Thank God. My God. It's the people that stand around, the bystanders. I just, wake up. Wake up. There's a video of a daughter running over her mom's boyfriend. Wow, it was awesome. She was beat and raped her. He was beating and raped her mother. He deserved what he got. Damn right he did. This video is gonna be demonetized. I don't care. It was awesome. He was. Okay, yes, you can get out. Just be careful. You have a better life waiting. Absolutely. You don't really know how good free feels or how bad your situation is until you get out of it. And then you're like, oh my God, why did I tolerate that for so long? Yeah, we're all celebrating that girl that hit her abuser with a car. Is it true for my title? Oh, you mean like the haunted? Yeah, we already talked about that in the beginning, though. Nothing's happening now, but as soon as it gets quiet, just walked on over. Just walk on over. The border's open. Yeah, and it's a little more complicated. A little more complicated than that. I'm not sure. I think I went on to pictures. Oh. I'm not going to bed. I'm just leaving. Fine, Stella. I haven't watched TV for 3 years. It's liberating. Right on, Trekkie. Is your office haunted in the first place? Kinda. I think it is. Agree. Too much TNA on shows now. Yeah, it's because that's what gets cheap clicks, and we live in a society that is. I don't want to go into that because it's like I could do a lecture on it, but kids have way too much access to certain things right now, and even adults have way too much access to things right now. And I think it started when I was a kid, how it's like the whole keyword stuff started to get really popular and then got really, really popular over the last few decades. And it has probably played a significant role in the downfall of society as we're seeing it. Thanks, Oceana. I'm good. How are you? So you've been free for 13 years, Glenna? That's good. Hey, am I the only nice guy here? I love learning how you lovely ladies think. It's good to know, Stuart. I don't. Oh, hey, Jeff. I no, I'm pretty sure you're not the only nice guy here, Stuart. Are you really nice, or do you just think you're nice? Yeah, lots of woke, cringy stuff out there. That's right, Oreo. Cookie cutter scripts. Yes, Laura Anderson. Yeah, I talked about that in the beginning, Jeff. Like I was creeped out being here alone, but when I have this on, it doesn't. I don't hear weird sounds anymore. But it's like it felt like there was somebody here, but there wasn't. Like I could hear noises, like somebody sound like maybe they were walking around, and I'm just like, oh, bye, Stella. Thank you for joining us. Did you just call Stella your BFF? Your house is haunted. No, you're not alone being here in this chat. Absolutely. It's been good therapy. Yeah, definitely. Knowing you're not alone is definitely helps a lot. And that's why I like to talk about my stories, and I'm very happy to hear other people when they're brave enough to tell their stories, even in the chat. It's public, and I'm grateful that people are brave enough to share it for other people to see that they're not alone. So thank you for sharing your story, Glenna. Hey, tinfoil. No, I'm at an office space. Where have you been? I explained all this. I am at an office space. I rented a co-working desk, and I'm all alone here, and it was creeping me out. And I talked about all this at the beginning. Um, but ghosts are just dead people. So it's not like automatically bad thing. It's just creepy. Sorry, no offense. I do have a storage unit in my name. Great. So no worries in storing my things. Awesome. But my car is too small to live out of with 3 cats. I get it. And it's a winter state bag. Okay, so do you have anywhere you can stay, anyone you can live with, or a temporary location, a sublet, um, or like a short-term lease, or something like that, somewhere that you can stay until you sort out a new situation? Like maybe you sell your vehicle for a larger vehicle, or you end up finding a new living situation. Something temporary that could tide you over until you sort it out. Good. I'm glad you're doing good, Oceana. Nice to meet you too. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. You think I'm one of the most real YouTubers. I like that. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. What do you mean your story is messed up, Judah? Hi, Clint. Well, thanks for popping in. Ex-fiance left me the day we closed our house. What? That's messed up. I said, sorry I was late. I'll go out in the hall now. No, don't leave. If your abuser knows about the storage unit, don't go near it. They may stalk the unit, stalk your family. Be careful. True, true, true. If they know, if they're, I mean, yeah, I would get a, if they know about it, I would get a different storage unit that they don't know about. But if this is just your roommate and not a relationship, it may not be, well, I was living with that chick and she was just a roommate and she was just as nuts. So, hello from Oregon. Hello. I've been living alone in a house for 10 years. Well, living alone is a lot better than living in toxicity or with someone who you don't really like that much or who doesn't like you. Okay, there's an apartment complex that rents out rooms, about 500 a month, but you share the apartment with 3 other people, and I'm not big on strangers in my personal space. I totally can relate. Um, but if all your stuff is in storage, so you know it's not going to get stolen or broken, um, I get how, like, I would be iffy with my cats. I'd be like, what if they let my cats out? Or what if they do something to my cats or whatever? I'm not trying to make you paranoid. I'm trying to relate to your skepticism. It really sucks. Well, what sucks about it, Judah? Not worried about him stalking me because he is moving to PA. Okay, cool. Pennsylvania is PA, right? I'm gonna have to look that up now. The house needs tons of work and I want to sell it. So sell it. Sell it without the work and let the new owners fix it. Or at least talk to an agent and see what they say about it. If she has to go to work, exactly. 40 hours at work a week, I'd be worried about my cats too. I heard the going rate is 10K for a bump. What? Where? Are we talking about? Is that what we're talking about? Who pays 10K for a bump? What? Is that code? What are we talking about? I have seen orbs, okay, yes, on my boat when I saw them by accident when I was filming my dog. Nice. Which have now passed. Have the footage verified. No idea who the spirits are. They could literally be anyway. Okay, they could be anyone. Sweet, I got it right. Pennsylvania's PA. Sweet. Yeah. Okay, so what was I saying? Oh, the orb thing. Yeah, so apparently orbs really are um uh spirits. But when you said orbs, I thought about blue orbs, which is a whole other situation. I'm doing another video, guys, on my other channel. Stay tuned. February 1st. Can have people near my belongings maybe get out? Yeah. I will have been in my van for 6 years, and I have wanted a cat forever. And after following your videos, oh, yay! Good for you, Gracie. Do it. Definitely. Happy 1-year anniversary, Jane. Is it? Almost. Is it? It is. Oh my God. Happy 1-year anniversary. Yay. Where do I go? You mean after you sell your house? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? For reference, I'm in Wyoming. All of my family is in Arizona or Washington State. This is just me here. My friends are online. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, where there's a will, there's a way. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it's absolutely possible. You just got to figure it out, even if you have to do it yourself. I've done everything myself. I've done very few things without any help. And when I get help, a lot of the time, I regret it because people I used to ask for help were usually toxic and used it against me. So where there's a will, there's a way. What's a bump? Well, okay, some Italian friends I used to work with say 10K for a bump. Honey, Jeff, they are lying to you. They are lying to you. J-Pat, you don't want to know. I mean, are we talking about what I think we're talking about? Are we talking about things? Does no one know what I'm saying here? I can't say it. I have no updates on the convoy, Jane might. I literally have lost touch with it at all. Yep. Thank you, Stuart, for joining us. That's the problem. If you get help, it's usually from people you don't want to get help. Blah. So you're kind of screwed no matter what. Well, I mean, here, in my experience, I started doing everything myself. And through the process, I became much more self-empowered, where I started to trust my ability to do things, to get things done on my own. And that alleviated a lot of stress and fear and anxiety because I started to really get used to the fact that no matter what happens, I will figure it out. No matter what happens, I will figure it out. So it's like working out a muscle and just getting stronger and stronger. And also through that process, you're also healing yourself, ideally, right? And you get to the point where you're everything that I talked about before about how you're too comfortable with toxicity and your behavior reflects what you learned in a toxic environment, and you start growing into someone who's emotionally healthy and who has a better self-esteem and better boundaries. And at that point, you start making new friends and acquaintances with people who are also healing. And I say healing because we're always healing. No one's ever healed. You're healing. Maybe healed to a certain extent, but there's always something to heal, right? But what I'm saying is that at a certain point, you start to create an environment where you have people around you that are no longer toxic and that you can call when you need them. The problem is, you know, I'm sure it is higher now, inflation, pandemic. Jeff, are we talking about certain substances? I'm confused now. Oh, we're not talking about the same thing at all. At all. That's not what a bump is, Jeff. Spirits don't bother me, and I know that one is a male because I asked a couple of questions. Are you my mom who passed? One of my best friends, Sally. Oh, you could hear them. Nice. Yo, what if you're a medium? Sounds like you may likely be a medium. And that is rad. I love that. I was talking about certain substances that you put up your nose. I thought everybody got that. And Jeff is talking about wet work. I can't say that either. So I don't know, man. Read between the lines, y'all, or somebody put it in the chat because I can't say this stuff. Hey, Spellweaver, are we talking about? Oh, yeah. My title is about this office being creepy. We talked about that though at the beginning. I don't want to go over it all over again. I definitely didn't hear you weeping and sobbing, Jeff. No, it feels like there's something in this office or multiple things in this office, or and I can hear things. It sounds like people walking around sometimes or moving stuff around when there's no one in here. But it's creepy because people could be in here and I wouldn't know, but I'm pretty sure no one's here. Could be the wind. I don't know. Meaning, obviously, there's no windows open, but the heater blowing, which I shut off before this stream. What do you guys want to talk about? Oh, so since we're talking about this weird stuff, if you guys, I don't know how many of you are either from my other channel or have been to my other channel or whatever, and you know what I talk about there. But I'm working on another video that I'm trying to get it done as soon as possible, but oh my God, is it deep. So I don't know if I should tell people or if I just put it out. Does it really matter? I don't think it really matters. It's not like mind blowing. I'm making, that's the trauma, man. That's that cult trauma. Just like making me feel like I can't talk about it. Sounds like I need to light a sage. See? I heard some shit. That's what I'm talking about. It's creepy. Sounds like I need to light a sage stick. Maybe, but I likely won't do it because it's not my space. I enjoy this more than I have enjoyed. Oh, awesome. Thank you for joining us, Glenna. Don't know about your other channel. I would think, okay, so I have another channel by my name, Natasha Hynes. It's linked on my channel, page, whatever. And on my other channel, I mean, so generally I started talking about like self-love in a spiritual context. So self-love and also the philosophical, spiritual ascension version of things. And I also have some exposés on there. And so right now I'm working on another kind of exposé, but it's not like I'm exposing anyone because they've already been exposed, but I'm just recapping the story for people who are not familiar with the disclosure community will now have the whole story of why Corey Good is an absolute fraud. Incense works charms. Maybe, you guys are talking me into this. Maybe I'll light something later. But what I've been doing is just meditating, like doing like binaural beats. I did it again. Binaural beats, meditating, stuff like that. So that in itself will change the frequency of a room. And incense, and the thing is, in my understanding of it, incense and sage and stuff like that, the way it works, if it's ghost, if it's just like dead people, I don't think it gets rid of dead people. It's just, they're just people. Like, you can blow that stuff on your neighbor, it's not going to make them go away. What it does is it has a certain frequency, a resonance to it, and so it's filling the room with that resonance, which is a higher vibration resonance. So anything lower vibe would either get pushed away, or it's like changing the temperature in the room kind of thing. If you have a cold room and you pump heat into it, it warms up the room. So the sage or the incense, sage especially, would raise the frequency of the room. But so will meditation on like an open heart and stuff like that, which I've been having trouble with. It makes me mad and it makes me sad. Yes, thank you, Rainbow. Sage doesn't clear spirits, it clears possibly negative entities or negative energy. But if it's just like a dead person, I'm pretty sure that doesn't have an effect on them. I actually was recording, but if it's a dead person and they're in a bad mood, maybe it'll put them in a better mood. I actually was recording on my phone and asked the question and heard a faint man's voice in reply to my question. I can't see them without video recording. Okay. Like an EVP or something. Sounds like running water. That's probably, no, that I think that's just the microphone. I know about using sage. Sage clears out energy, good or bad. Well, it can't clear out both because there is still energy. Unless you're saying that it neutralizes the energy. Everything is energy. It can't clear out the energy. It can only shift the resonance of that energy. But that energy, you can't create a vacuum in existence. I don't know if that makes sense, but there's always going to be energy. I've already said this, why am I repeating myself? I didn't know about your other channel, but I do now. Thank you, BK. I have an EVP I posted online, Noise. The ghost is going pee. Thank you, Rainbow. What do you guys think I should make videos on? Help me. Help me. Seriously. I need ideas. What I'm doing with this channel, whether people like it or not, is I'm shifting out of, I have never really been a like traditional van lifer, YouTuber meaning, and I'm shifting more out of that. And I'm doing that because it's not in alignment with where I'm going. I've talked about this before. If this is boring you, tell me and I'll change topics. But otherwise, I'm going to tell you, copal is good for cleansing and space of negative energy too. That's a stone? I'm assuming. I would believe you. So I explained this before, how a lot of people start doing van life, start a vlog, and then they get locked into van life because they get locked into their vlog topic, their niche. And I knew that going in, and I'm like, okay, I know my long-term goal with this channel is not to be a van life channel. So I'm not going to do the whole super traditional, like, 10 things I love about van life and like where I shower and blah, blah, blah. All these very niche specific topics, even though I've done a few, whatever. I just didn't want to go too deep into that. And I wanted to focus on the storyline and it being about overcoming challenges and that kind of thing. And I did that because I'm shifting out of van life. As much as this is probably weird, I still live in the van. And I am probably going to be in a vehicle for a while, but I'm also probably going to be getting an Airbnb here and there or an office space here and there, especially now since it's the winter, because I'm really trying to sit at a desk and work as much as possible right now, banging out a book. I have 2 other books that are in the process. I have 2 channels that I'm trying to create content for and all this other stuff. So I'm not driving around in the brush and like having campfires and stuff like that every day. And so how can I make this channel stay interesting or become interesting if it hasn't been up to this point? And I have some ideas. I can tell you what they are, I think, and you guys can tell me what you think, or you can give me your ideas. But I want to talk about things, I don't know how I'm going to say this, communicate this properly, but I want to do videos about topics that are empowering, things that you live through, that I live through, that, like, self-empowerment, body issues, fear-facing challenges, stuff like that. I'm losing viewers. Fine. Leave then. Go away. Sage is used to cleanse the property of unwanted spirits, either negative or annoying demonic entities, and portals is another thing. Negative. Okay, so demonic entities would be negative entities. Negative spirits, annoying, negative. Yeah, so essentially it's in alignment with what I said. Like maybe negative entities, but just if it's a dead person, because they're not the same thing. There's the soul that leaves the body of a human that is not incarnate, but they still exist. They're just in a realm that we cannot perceive, whether they can perceive us or not, which I'm pretty sure that they can, but we can't perceive them because I think that it's because they are in a higher dimension, a higher dimension. So you know how we're like in third dimension. Anyway, so have you guys seen the movie With the Bleep? What the bleep do we know? So they explain how one dimension. Okay, so the best way to explain it is this. 2 dimensions, you guys understand that 2 dimensions is like a flat surface. You could draw a picture and that's 2-dimensional drawing, right? Whereas this cup would be like a 3 product placement. It would be a 3-dimensional object, right? So we are in a dimension that can perceive all 3 dimensions. And when we look at something, so let's say there's a picture of a girl with like And let's see if I can draw this. Forget it. There's a picture. There's a girl and a box and like an apple in the box, right? And she is looking at the box and she just sees like a wall, right? It's a line. From her perspective, it's a wall. From our perspective of 3D, looking down at the two-dimensional reality that she lives in, she sees an impenetrable wall. Whereas we see a line on a paper and we also see the apple inside the box. And we know from our perspective, we can touch the apple in the box because we are at a higher dimension. So we can perceive two dimensions, but two-dimensional people cannot perceive us. So when you leave the body, you're in a dimension that can perceive us, but we can't perceive you unless you have that ability to tap into a higher dimensional realm, is my understanding of it. Am I boring? Are you asking me to move in with you, Judah? You know what? What state do you live in? Where's Cat Vlogs? Cat Vlogs. Cat Vlogs. You and Judah? You should talk. Judah, you have a car, right? Cat Vlogs? How far are you, Judah? Where are you, Judah? What states are you guys in? Tell me now. We're going to solve this problem. Okay, yeah, so I was talking about that because I was trying to explain how there's negative entities and then there's dead people, and they're not the same thing. I just don't want to bore people. I don't want to go off on weird existential tangents that nobody on this channel wants to hear. On my own channel is different. Maybe we could go over there and have some existential tangents. Maybe vlog about funny things that you heard or have taken place. We all can use a good laugh every now and then. Yeah, well, the only problem is what funny things? My life is so stressful. Don't forget about the log cabin. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to manifest that. Trying. Your channel title is, this channel is Quest Out West. Right now we are on Quest Out West. How did I learn to write a book? I just did. This is my second book, but the first book is no longer available because I wrote it when I was at one of my lowest points. And though there's something there, like I do plan to kind of revisit that book and rewrite it because I was onto something, but it was poorly written. So I took it down. Like I was so scared at that point that I was going to be sued, that I wrote allegedly like 360 times. Like I'm just making up a number, but I wrote it a lot and it's obnoxious. So I took it down because I was afraid I was going to get sued for the book. But now I have more knowledge and I can go back and reevaluate it. But it's my second book, and how I did it was I just sat there and I wrote. Yeah. Self-empowerment videos. Woohoo! Sweet. Uh-oh. Oh no, where am I here? I believe that I would enjoy whatever you share with us. Nice. Thank you, Glenna. Sure, I've seen that. My biggest fear being unorganized. I like things in a certain order and functional. How about you, Judah Buddha? Okay, so Judah's in Connecticut. I forget where Cat Vlogs is. We're doing this. Okay. Some videos about your activities of daily living. Okay. Everything in its home. I agree. It's favorite easy meals. The thing is, JPAT, is the videos that you're suggesting, the topics that you're suggesting, are what I would call like the traditional van lifey vlog stuff. And I'm trying to move away from the niche, so I'm a bit worried about doing that stuff. Rainbow, you're telling me that, oh, okay, so Cat Vlogs lives in Wyoming and Judah lives in Connecticut. Oh, the money numbers here. Hold on. Okay. Cat Vlogs, are you willing to drive to Connecticut? Wyoming's beautiful though, isn't it? I haven't been there, but so, Judah, would you like a roommate? Are you no pressure. No pressure. But yeah, Judah, are you interested in getting to know Cat Vlogs and seeing if you guys are would make good roommates? How about them apples? Do you like cats? Do you like cats, Judah? And if you say no, why are you here? And how OCD are you, Judah? Are you the type that likes to be quite organized, or at least um, I don't know. Okay, you should do a day of busking. I have busking is not fun. Let's just busking's not fun. I'm not going to do that. But thank you. Hello from Niagara Falls, Canada. Oh, New York. Okay, cool. Nice, nice. Okay, Phoenix. Nice. Hi, Otto from BC. Get what VK gets what I mean. Now, what does busking mean? Busking is when you like play. I heard something again. Busking is when you play music for money. It's like panhandling, but you play music, and usually people do it like in Montreal. People do it in the metro, or you do it on like the streets downtown, stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. Street musician. Alaska, Martha says. I turned 46. I'm totally midlifing. You're 46. Why did I have the impression that you were way younger than that? Okay, so scientists have observed that sage clears 94% of airborne bacteria. Yes, that's true. Back. Am I back? Am I back? It says I'm back. Sorry about that. I'm going to. Okay, the timer's going, so it'll come back, but my internet cut out for a second. Okay, I appreciate your focus on positively affirming guidance, empowering yourselves. It feels that this conversation will be most important as we have so much media fear oppression. Absolutely. Sharing her content, everyone will help her channel. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Gypsy. Yeah, I don't have the capacity to upload daily, but I'm gonna try to batch some shorts. Um, yeah, it's far, but you don't have to drive it, Judah. Connecticut is too far. Dang it. I was on to something. Hey, Birding Diaries. You have a cat. Awesome. Nice. You are welcome here then. Where is it? Oh, that's where I disconnected. Okay. Where is it? I have a cat. I'm lost. Oh, Stella's back. Or, yeah, Stella's back. Unless Stella left again because I'm still not caught up. I used to own 2 ferrets and a cat. Cool. Oh, and a goldfish. Nice. I heard that. You heard the noise? How do I cope, stay strong with day to disappointments and frustrations? Okay, that's a good question. How do I cope with or stay strong with day-to-day disappointments and frustrations? Have we met? Have you watched my vlog? My whole life is a disappointment and a frustration. Freaking computer's trying to restart. I choose to stay positive. I have moments where I hate everything and I cry it out, and then I go to sleep, and then I wake up and I feel better. That's expected. Life is a roller coaster. You're not going to feel good all the time. I have goals in the sense that are things that I passionately want to create and put out into the world. And that is what drives me to be here and keep pushing on something. But my day-to-day frustrations and disappointments deeply pale in comparison to my real problems. So it's that. I have developed a high tolerance for stuff over the years. I think you have no choice when you're constantly subjected. You hear these freaking noises, right? Like, sounds like people are sitting at the desk and they're like putting cups down and stuff like that. Like, is it just me? That was me. But is it just me, or are you guys hearing this? A big nope for me. Okay. Well, I tried. We're going to keep trying. Okay. We're going to figure it out. I keep getting lost. Wish it was like a bookmark for the comments. Okay, yeah, Stella is back, or was back. This thing moves around, annoying. Here we go. Hi, Nomad Man. Casa Grande is not too far. Is that an offer? Are you offering a place in Casa Grande? BK says, I think you've shown us all the ups and downs of reality of van life and haven't climbed it up. Thank you. I'm glad I effectively did that. Woke up one day and there I am. It was a ghost. Stop it. It can't be. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Try taking a small ad out and find a couple of cleaning jobs. I'm disabled and it allows me to work while I'm feeling well. Are we talking to me, or we're talking about what are we talking about? Me or someone else? I have no time or energy for any more jobs except for no, I'm just joking. Bada bing. All right. Stop. I seem very resilient. What is my secret? That's basically it. A high tolerance and a passion for getting certain things done. I came here for a purpose. Do you guys not feel like you came here for a purpose? Like, is that just me? Like, I know that there is something that I came here to do, and I can't leave until I do it. As much as I want to sometimes. He doesn't want to share you with us. He doesn't want to share you with us. I'm lost. Dang it. I'm lost. I would love to do van life. Do it then, Judah. Sell your house and do van life. I was with you like 20 or 30 minutes ago. Sweet. Thank you, Stella. Stella! I figure I have to do that, right? But the price of vans are so pricey. I mean, are they? Because I think that depends. Especially if you sell a house. And then you will have the funds, likely, to buy a van. But the price, okay, Kit's on my Instagram. Nice. Tell the spirit to please stop interfering with your internet. I know I would appreciate that. That you are not bothering it. Say it kindly. It should be fine. Fuck up! I forgot. I can't say that on the stream. Demonetized. Deplatformed. Damn it. Yes, the cost of a van plus the van bill is outrageous. I mean, it can be, but it doesn't have to be. A tiny house would be nice. I feel that, but I think I can settle for a mini school bus if I can find it. That'd be cool. Law rent here is like 800 before even having an RV or a mobile on it. Prices are ridiculous. Still, yeah, I almost bought a small house. Problem is where to put it. Do you mean a tiny house? I live on a boat. That's pretty cool. And find that hard enough. Living in a van here in the UK would be a nightmare. Honestly, I've heard that it's pretty expensive to live in a van. Here's the thing. Let me be real for a minute. Can I be real for a minute? Can this be the first time in all of my career that I am honest and vulnerable and real with you? Van life is probably becoming increasingly, this is a theory, not necessarily true, increasingly difficult, though more people are going to be doing it out of necessity. Because of that, there's a paradox where it's also becoming more illegal, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe due to the necessity that people are recognizing the necessity and that the rules will change. But I wish before I started, I really understood that it is generally illegal to sleep in your car. Most people don't tell you that. And in Vancouver, it is legal. Vancouver and Vancouver area. I think Burnaby, but I'm pretty sure in Surrey it's not, and in Delta it's not. So, and these are like right next to each other. So you got to be careful. And I don't think many people talk about it. On the island, it's illegal to sleep in your vehicle. In reality, most of the time nobody does anything about it because so many people do it, and it's just going to cause more problems if they are cracking down on it than if they just generally leave people alone unless they're doing something they shouldn't be doing, kind of thing. But it is something to be aware of and could potentially stress people out. Yeah, I personally take my chances. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's what you're going to want to do or that is what anybody else would want to do. You missed 2 hours, Mike, so I'm not going to summarize that. I'm lucky to have gotten into a better place, but I'm still not quite where I want to be. I'm reading Rainbow's comment. I think you handle challenges that come up so well. Thank you, Birding Diaries. I do think things through. Thank you. Most of the time. Well, thanks, Judah. Okay, you are hearing the noises, okay. Girl, Cavlog says she here. Is Cavlog he or she? You wanna? I guess I keep from automatically whatever. Anyway, Cavlog says sounds like people are having a conversation behind you, which creeps me out way more. I don't think I'm gonna want to end this stream. Stay here forever. Oh my god. Lost my place again. Oh my lord, I lost my place again. I've always thought that you are one of the strongest people I know. Oh, thanks, Lori. God, everybody hears the ghosts. Super creeped out. I wouldn't know how to survive in a caravan. I wouldn't even know how to downsize. That would be the biggest issue. The downsizing would be a bit of a nightmare. It's a lot. It's a lot. But if you really want to do it, you don't have to get rid of your stuff. You don't have to downsize your stuff. You can just get storage for it. If it's something that you don't think you're going to want to do for a while, and then you can even sell your vehicle after. Buy the vehicle, use the vehicle, sell the vehicle. You know what I mean? Okay, you guys are creeping me out now with everybody validating that they're hearing my ghosts. You're looking for orbs. That's smart, BK. Let me know if you see something. Our culture has taught us that stuff gives us worth. Yes, so that's why part of the inner work, part of the spiritual journey, part of your journey through expanding your consciousness is learning that it doesn't, which is probably why so many people on the twin flame journey end up freaking homeless for some part of it. But why me though? Why me though? Our jobs, our homes, our stuff, exactly. Haven't seen any yet. Okay. How to do van life. You buy a van, move into van, live your life. I already did the step. Oh, you did? Dang it. My purpose is taking care of my cats and self-empowerment. Right on, Laura. I saw a wonderful quote for you. Don't let anyone who hasn't been in your shoes tell you how to tie the laces. Dang straight, Ralph. You know what? Oh, plus what I do for work. Well, I mean, this is the thing. You got to decide what works for you. What is it that you really want? Sometimes we want things that don't fit together but we don't have to do them at the same time, or maybe we don't really want to do one of those things and we really want to do the other thing. Oh, yeah, it's from, what is it? It's from Rocky or something, isn't it? Um, I don't care if the minibus is a shell, can always add power and water lines freeze anyways, exactly. So just use 5 gallons for water usage, exactly. When you get a chance, search, a streetcar named Desire with Marlon Brando. Okay, I was off. I haven't seen any of these movies anyways. I can go with you. It's because it's a life hack. Housing prices make it impossible for someone on average 30K budget. Hi. You are absolutely right. In the 6 years now that I have had been in my minivan, living in an enjoying my life, things are getting more and more stricter, and a lot has to do with people leaving their garbage. I've heard that, and I just don't understand why people. Well, I do, because people are disgusting. Have you gone into public washrooms? Why can you not clean up after yourself? Why do people? It's like they make an effort to be disgusting. Like, it's not that hard. Just flush the freaking toilet. Like, why is it so hard? Chrome does what? It is inevitable. Just be, Gypsy says. What's inevitable? I'm lost. Dang. Oh, you're in Canada. Nice. Oh, bye, Stella again. Okay, she's gonna be back. So many no overnight parking signs everywhere in the UK. The local council even put metal dividers on benches to stop homeless sleeping on them. So many no overnight parking signs. Yeah. We're getting those too, even in all the Walmarts where people used to use pretty much any Walmart to sleep in. Now a lot of them you're not allowed to sleep in anymore. Not inside the Walmart, in the parking lot. Yeah, and those metal dividers. So again with the are you Rainbow, are you and Stella besties? I don't know what's going on. What's going on? Um I'm a woman, but people repeatedly call me sir. Really? I get woman. I get she. So I'm going to continue on with my she then. Um, I'm sorry if this is already known info, but do you have 24/7 access to the office? Yes, I do. I do. It's a mistake. Just Gypsy says I'm also a twin flame. Girl, you feel my pain? Yeah. Yeah. He's annoying. Okay. I wish I wasn't, but 2:22 or exactly 22 minutes live when I said that. I don't, I wish I wasn't, meaning life's just easier when you're not. Life is easier when you can just choose anybody. Something you said to me the other day in a response has stuck with me about avoiding something. Oh, yeah. And I concluded that it's my health. So now my channel is focusing on that and travel. Nice. Whoops, what's going on here? Don't buy a house. See, last time I was reading the comments on my phone, so I wasn't like doing this. But so be it. Houses are a lot of work. Everything's a lot of work, Judah. Lord, everything is a lot of work. Chrome lives in a van on the island. Yes, he does. That's awesome. Are you willing to share how much you make from YouTube? Yes. Depends on the month. Every month is different. A few $100, anything from like, well, I mean, every month seems to be a little bit more, except this month is probably going to be a little less because I took a break. Then again, I'm not totally sure if this number is accurate, but it's nearing, it's like $400 or $500 at this point. And every month, like I said, every month is different, so it depends. And next month we get a revenue from shorts, so probably more next month. Ask me again next month. Rainbow. I thought you wanted to be besties, but maybe not. I wish I could do van life, but my current health issues don't allow me to take a driver's license due to the medication I'm currently on. Oh, that sucks. Can you get somebody else to drive? I get your channel confused with travel snacks sometimes. Really? I take that as a compliment. Thank you, Judah. Thank you. VK, also they said, well, and they also put up height restriction barriers in certain places, so vans being quite tall won't fit under them. That's annoying. Yeah, that's annoying. That's one of the perks of having a smaller vehicle, by the way. Not having to worry about not fitting under certain overpasses or whatever. And mind you, I've never had a problem in the Sprinter. Did I? I think once I had to turn around. Thank you, Birding Diaries. Yay. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay. What app do I use to budget? I don't use an app to budget because I don't trust apps with my financial information. And if I didn't have to use one for my bank, I wouldn't do that either. You're correct. 7 years ago, before sleeping in your van was cool. Things were much better not being on anyone's radar. The famous YouTuber van lifers contributed negatively. Hate to say it. It's possible. Very possible. You and you and Travel Snacks have similar personalities. Thank you. I would totally chill with her. That's somebody that I would definitely hang out with. Oh, no problem, Treehouse. Are there Planet Fitness in Canada? Yes, I have a membership at Anytime Fitness, which I explained at the beginning of this, that the one in this local area I'm not allowed to go to anymore because, so what happened was I went in, I'm just like, you know what, I'm going to work out. And I went in, I did like 2 sets and I'm like, I was burnt out, like physically burnt out. So I felt very physically weak. I can't do it. I have to leave. So I'm just like, I'm walking out and just went in, did 2 quick sets, like a warm up set and put light weights on, did another quick set. And I'm walking out and the guy at the desk who I said hi to on the way in, I'm walking in, he goes, hi. I'm like, hey, go do 2 sets, walking out. He goes, hey, excuse me. And I'm just like, oh God, I'm fucking tired. Like, I don't, what do you want? You know, I didn't say that. I'm just like, yes, hello, can I help you? He's like, can you do me a favor? I hope I get this right. He's like, can you do me a favor? And in my head, I'm just like, what? Why would I do you? I'm really tired. I don't want to do you a favor. I want to go home to my van. That's right outside. I'm like, what? He's like, I've been trying to contact your gym, like where I signed up, and I just can't get a hold of them. So could you do me a favor and contact your gym and ask them why they don't have your picture on file? I only have a picture of your ID. And I'm like, yes, I know, because when I signed up, that's what we agreed to, because I didn't get into it. But I'm like, okay, they took a picture of the picture on my ID or whatever, because I didn't have my makeup on. I didn't want to. And they're like, yeah, sure, no problem. And So this guy's telling me this very condescendingly, like imagine a teacher telling a kid, "Hi, Billy, could you tell your mom, could you do me a favor, Billy? Could you go home and tell your mom that I want to know why you didn't do your homework last night?" That's how he was talking to me. I'm just like, I don't have time for this. And I walked out. And he follows me out and he's like, "You're being rude." And I'm like, "You're being disrespectful. Why can't you ask me directly? Why are you saying it like that? Why can't you say, hi, is there a reason that you haven't updated your picture? And could you do that, please? Like, why can't you be direct? Why do you have to say this weird garbage?" And he's just like, "I'm not being disrespectful." I'm like, "Yes, you are." He's like, "Okay, bye." And then he walks in and then he picks up the phone and he calls me. I'm like, what is going on? And I didn't notice for the next few minutes because I wasn't even in my car yet. I get him in the van. I drive away. I'm like 2 minutes away and I look down and I realize I missed the call. I'm like, what the heck? I call him back and what happened? Long story short, anyways, he's telling me this. I'm telling him he's being condescending and disrespectful. I'm like, you shouldn't be talking to me like that. Just tell me directly what you want me to do. Don't tell me like that. And I'm tired and I don't have to do it right now. Like, what is your problem? So he's not taking no for an answer. He's like, "I'm going to call your gym," or something like that. Or he hangs up. I end up trying to call the head office, which there's no way to do that. I end up calling my gym and I'm like, "Hey, I guess you got a call." And they're like, "Yeah." And then I told them my version of the story and they're like, "Yeah, no problem. Don't worry about it." Um, and then I get off the phone with my gym and the guy from this gym calls me back and he goes, "I just got off the phone with your gym and I had you blocked in all the gyms. You can't go into any of the gyms that I pay for. I pay for access to these gyms." And he's telling me that I can't access the gyms because he doesn't want me to, because he has an issue. Because I won't conform to him. I won't be like, "Oh, yes, anything you want, you big, strong man owning your own business." Like, no. Go home and cry while you pleasure yourself to Andrew Twat videos and recognize that you don't control all the people around you, and that's just too bad. So I called my gym back. I'm like, "This is what he said. He said he calls you and he had me banned from all the gyms." And my gym's like, "That's not true. Don't worry about it." What is wrong with this guy? So that is how that ended. I have to, in order to update my picture, I have to go all the way to my original gym and do it there. So I don't really want to do that right now, right? I'm here doing this. So now I can't use the gym in this area because the guy is a twat. That's my story. So what do I use to budget? I have an Excel file folder that I do stuff, and I also have automatic payments taken out and stuff like that. I got myself banned. I didn't get myself banned, girl. I stood up for myself, and the guy has a chip on his shoulder. Okay. Nope, I can't read it, Gab, because you're a troll and you're not going to come over to this channel and you're not going to troll me over here. Go live your life. We don't know each other anymore, and go have a good life and leave me alone. I had the monthly Delta Sonic when I had my mistake. When I bought my conversion van, I almost cried because I have two washer. What? I'm sorry. I'm having trouble reading sentences. I had the monthly Delta Sonic. I don't know what that is. Is that a gym? Wait. I had my Mustang when I bought my conversion van. Oh! Why would you cry? Because you had to wash your car? How do I shower? Now there's a shower here. So I use this when like no one's around, which is often enough. The creepy gym owner was really fixated on you. Yes, because I was a woman that didn't unquestioningly obey him. That's my theory. This is why I'm saying he probably is in the cult and he brainwashes himself. Banned from the gym. Spill the tea. I did. No, we don't let Gab speak here because he has trolled me on my other channel as well as Facebook. So bye. Go make your own channel, Gab. He probably isn't there anymore. Go back. No, well, he's the owner and he's there a lot. And I'm gonna, because he can see when I swipe my key fob, he probably checks, you know? It's like, I wonder if that chick is back. Yes, Judah, C word. No, I don't think I can just text them a picture of myself. That would be a lot easier, yes. I didn't know who that was. That's okay. I wouldn't think you would. Gabriel is someone that I know in real life, and he is not very nice to me. I don't think he's a bad person. I just don't like the way he talks to me. Him and his friend who is absolutely obsessed with me and hopefully has moved on and is living their life and go away. Go get your own life. Yeah, did yeah, got banned by Karen. Yeah, exactly. Kevin. The male Karens are Kevin. Is Gab that woman who dropped you up? No. It's so big and we have salt all winter. Why can't I read? Why do people troll? Because they're bored, I guess. I live in my own flat, but I'm not happy here. So my future plans are to sell my flat, pay down my loans, buy a tiny home so I can travel more. I'd love to travel more, see the world. Thank you. That's awesome. That's a great plan. Love that. 2.5 hours. What do we want to do, guys? I don't really care at this point. We can chat some more. We can end it. We can do whatever you want to do. Can we do something crazy? No. No. Not really. Can't think of anything. Oh, sorry, Gypsy. I didn't make it up. People who troll haven't had a spiritual awakening, really. I mean, I don't think that that's necessarily fair to say because people can troll because for a variety of reasons. You're having a bad day, you don't like someone specifically, or whatever it is. And having a spiritual awakening can mean a lot of things. And people can wake up one day and have a year of revelations and then go right back to sleep for whatever, however long. And you can be like spiritually awakened, technically, like exploring spirituality, being introspective, whatever it is, but also still be very 3D or whatever you want to call it in certain areas. You know, I'm not perfect and I devote much of my life to my spiritual growth, and I still get angry and I still call people the C word because I like it. I still do very 3D things and think 3D thoughts and whatever. And it's a growth process. And part of the journey of spiritually awakening is getting to the point where you recognize that thinking that you are better than other people because you are quote unquote spiritually awakened is again being asleep. It is your ego telling you that you're better than other people for a certain reason, and it is something else that you need to shed. It is the false light. It's actually a Luciferian perspective. So I've been learning about Rosicrucian theology, or whatever you want to call it. And they see, so you know how we most of the time see things as light and dark, or good and bad, or good and evil, or whatever you want to call it, like a duality, whereas they see a trilogy where, that's the right word, but anyways, it's three aspects where you have Satan and Lucifer are not the same thing. So you have Satan and you have Lucifer, and then you have the Christos. And so the Christos is where you want to aspire to be. And the satanic, obviously we don't want that, but the Luciferian aspect is the false light. It is the spiritual, so satanic would be very 3D, very physical, very sense oriented, pleasure seeking, whatever. And Luciferian would be more spiritual, but in a self centered way. It is the egoic false light. So it's the teal swan and all the teal swan teachings and followers or whatever. Whereas the Christos way is shedding all of that, all of the I am better than you because, and whatever else. And so that's what we want to aspire to be. And we have this issue in this reality where the awakening, the ascension process, people going through the ascension process are getting hijacked by the false light and following the Luciferian way. The New Age community has been very heavily saturated by this mentality, and that is something that I've been deeply waking up to over the past couple of years since, wow, this is crazy, since 2020, not because of the lockdowns, but because of everything that happened with all the cults, all the Corey Good stuff, recognizing that all these things, I had been following David Wilcock. If you don't know any of this stuff, I'm going to go on a tangent. You can ask your questions and I'll answer them in a minute, but I don't want to lose train of my thought. But I had been following David Wilcock since 2009. I only found out about Corey Good in like 2017 or something like that. Then in 2019, the sweater started to unravel. I pulled the thread and the whole thing started to come undone. And we learned that he was a giant fraud. Emery's a giant fraud. David's a giant fraud. Everyone started looking deeper and deeper into all these other supposed whistleblowers and supposed researchers, and realizing that even highly respected researchers in the UFO community aren't even vetting their sources, and therefore other fake whistleblowers are making it through the cracks. And then we have institutions like Gaia TV that are platforming and promoting these frauds. And so the sweater starts to unravel, and you start to realize that everything you thought was this spiritual awakening, deep process of ascending and coming into your higher self and realizing your Pleiadian lineage and all this garbage, part of it is garbage, bear with me. And then you realize that so much of it was fake because there has been an agenda this entire time to plant people, for a variety of reasons, but to plant people in these communities to derail us into the Luciferian side of things. So we think we're enlightened and we're, ascending, but we're actually on the Luciferian side of things. And we're going deeper and deeper into the Luciferian things, thinking that there's only a duality of good, this spectrum of good, Christos to Lucifer, and bad, Satan. When in reality, there was three, but we were lied to and we didn't realize it. So we've been following the false light. And so only in 2019 was I waking up to the fact that I've been following the false light. And only now in 2023 am I understanding that what exactly is the false light and that there's three paths. And recognizing that all of this was for a greater purpose, because as we are waking up to the fact that we have been hijacked, now we can adjust and go on the right path. And I'm just thinking about how perfectly planned this was from a divine aspect of getting me into this community and getting all these things to happen in a certain order to wake me up to do all this other crap. I don't know if any of this is making sense, but I'm like having a revelation to myself. And and this process is definitely not over, because the video that I've been working on lately was a video of Corey and David and how they basically hijacked and destroyed or ruined, I won't say destroyed, the disclosure community. And I'm pretty sure at this point that it's going to be a series. I'm not the first person to talk about this stuff. I'm just trying to put it out there in a way where the average person that doesn't know all the details because they weren't there can really grasp what's been happening. Because they're everywhere. The hijackers are everywhere. And it's all false light. It's all people trying to get us distracted and going, Stephen Greer. I don't think Stephen Greer is legit. I think he's a Luciferian. I think these people are all Luciferians. Because when you go, I don't talk about this in the video. Maybe I will at some point. But when you go deeper into it, you start to recognize how deep this rabbit hole goes. And it's not just this crackhead narcissist that thought he was going to make a bunch of money grifting the dumb spiritual people in the ufology community. It's so much deeper than that, with very large bankroll that came from where? Where did this money come from? It came with an agenda. It came from people in the shadows with an agenda. And it's a very, very large bankroll. So when you recognize that, you see just how well and intentionally orchestrated it was to distract people, and is to distract people and derail people. And I think it was it Werner von Braun, correct me if I'm wrong, Werner von Braun, who said, who told his colleague, and then she exposed what he said on his deathbed, that the plan for what we're going through right now, and that the final step was going to be a fake invasion. And so whether or not that comes to fruition, I believe all of this played a role in making that a possibility, and to derail us from our true path of ascension. Because if we ascend, truly ascend, and I'll elaborate on what I mean by truly ascend, your consciousness, freeing your mind, when you recognize who you are, when you recognize that all the money you have and the shit you own and the title you have and all the letters after your name and what people think of you and all this crap and your social media followers and all this crap means nothing. And how we've been brainwashed to believe that it's everything. And every waking minute of every day, we are consumed with paying bills, what other people think of us, and all this superficial crap that actually, in actuality, is only a distraction to keep us focused on this physical realm, this prison, the physical and mental and emotional prison that we are in because of where our thoughts are. And they are keeping us in prison by preventing us from breaking free mentally to realize that this shit doesn't matter. And that what actually matters is unconditional love for everyone, recognizing that we really are all one. We're all just cells in the fabric of creation. That connection and love for your neighbor matters so much more than anything you can potentially buy from a store or earn or gain in the physical realm. And that path is ascension. That path, recognizing what is real, what really matters, and the truth of who you are. You are not this physical body. This is a manifestation. This is a vehicle, and we get by in this realm. We exist beyond this realm. Currently, while in this body, we exist beyond this realm. And our minds are limited to believe that the physical body is all there is, and then we completely focus all our energy and our thoughts into this body, and that is all that matters. And we lose touch with what we are and the fact that we literally create reality. Reality, everything is energy. This is science. Reality is energy, literally. What we experience in our world, very literally, is a projection of our consciousness into this realm. And we perceive it as reality, but all it is energy and our perception of energy, our perception of energy. And when we change, it's as if it's a bad analogy, but like you take a prism and you shine a light through the prism, and then on the wall you see a rainbow. So consciousness beams through us, again, bad analogy, but consciousness beams through us and projects itself onto this stage, the hologram of the realm that we live in, this matrix we live in, and that is what we perceive to be real. But when we change, as if we could change ourselves, being the prism, when we change ourselves, the colors on the wall change. The reality that we perceive changes. You change yourself, you change the reality you perceive. We very quite literally create this reality, not just our experience, but we co-create it. We all affect it. And whoever says other people don't have any free will is not accurate. Everyone has free will, and we are all just in a soup of other people's resonances bumping into each other. That's why someone else's bad mood can also put you in a bad mood, and vice versa. And we just have to be responsible for our own, what we put out, and become stronger so that we can help influence other people, because we are not separate from them. We are just another thread on this fabric that is all. And when we recognize what reality really is, just a projection of what we are inside, then we recognize that we truly are free. But they don't want us to know that we are free. They don't want us to know that we literally create reality. They want us to be focused on stupid shit, like fucking aliens. So, yeah. I'm going to read the comments now. Sorry, it was a stream of thought that I just had to get out. Where was I? I'm getting a headache now. I wonder if those things are related to the stream of thought that I just experienced. But it's also getting dark, obviously. So you're going to have... Oh, I could turn the lights on. Maybe I'll do that. Should I turn the lights on? So someone asked, what's the false light? I just explained that. Did that make sense, or do you want me to elaborate? Once you have a dark night of the soul, you'll feel confused, bewildered, angry, desperate, helpless, and hopeless. Yes, for a while, and then you will feel a lot better. I wish I hadn't missed the start of this spiritual talk. I don't know how much you missed because I only really started getting into that in the last few minutes. I've heard of him, and I am understanding exactly what you're talking about when it comes to the spiritual awakening. What is the false? Okay, we did that. Whoop! Again, slipped. Good job. Sorry if I'm skipping over. If I missed your comment, please retype it. I'm just going to try to go through these quickly because I'm obviously really not caught up. Do you have some advice when it comes to narcissistic friendships? Absolutely. I had to get rid of toxic friends, and all of them went very far to try to make sure that I was going to fail. Yes. What do you do with toxic narcissistic friends? You get rid of them. You expect that they're going to start a smear campaign and slander you, and you ignore it as much as possible. And you just expect that other people are going to believe the smear campaign and stop talking to you, and you ignore it as much as possible. You keep doing you. You keep developing yourself, working on yourself, doing what you want, doing what you're passionate about, making your life what you want it to be, following your dreams, going to pay your bills, whatever you need to do. And eventually, all these people that believe the smear campaign are going to go, oh, shit, we were wrong. And then everything is going to be fine. So just know that that's a part of the process, and it doesn't matter. And all the people that believe the narcissist, who cares? Screw them, because if they left you that easily, if they believe the narcissist that easily, they were never truly your friends. I hope that helps. And maybe they'll regret it, and maybe you'll have a better relationship afterwards, but it doesn't matter either way. I hope that helps. Like a band-aid you just take off. Oh, sorry, you're talking about someone else. Really interesting. Always thought something about off was Teal. Yes, Teal is a cult leader and a narcissist, and there is a well-done documentary about her on Hulu, I believe. The ones wanting you to fail don't want you to leave the matrix. That's right. 2020 was ground shaking for the world. It changed the vibration of the earth. It did. We as humans make our own sounds, and yes, we do. We were minimized it through lockdowns and pandemic was to interrupt this. Yes, it was. But like everything that they throw at us, they throw a rock at us, and we pick it up and use it as a hammer. Okay, this is the nature of the game. No matter what they do, we use it for our benefit. I'm reading a book called Living Untethered Beyond Human Predicament. Basically says the same. Cool. I completely agree with you about that. Prison, right on. First thing I want to know is, what do you do? That is how they will perceive you from that one question. Yeah, and that's their problem. That's a 3D perspective. Those are people who are too asleep to recognize the truth, and you let them. They're not ready. Not everyone is ready to wake up. Everyone wakes up at their own pace. It's not our job to wake other people up. It's our job to live as an example and allow people to see us and take it as an example and decide if they want to do that for themselves or not. It is also our job to heal ourselves and put that into the collective consciousness simply by doing it ourselves. We heal ourselves, and then we put that map into the collective consciousness so that when someone is ready, they can use it and heal themselves even faster. But it is not our job to try to make anyone do anything against their will. Yes, if you try and leave the matrix, people get really nasty. True that. We are getting in our own way. True that, Birding Diaries. Thank you, Laura. There's no difference from a rich person to a poor person. We all go through the same place after we leave. The vibration is affected by the children the most. Yeah, they're the most sensitive to it, Gypsy. Oh yeah, I live in Norway, but toxic people are everywhere. It seems I'm complex PTSD, and I see a therapist. Well, welcome to the club. You're in good company here. You are correct. That's why they isolate the children. Yeah. It's not what I preach is not Buddhism. If anything, if you want to put on a name on it at all, I would call it natural law. That's what I would call it. Maybe Gnosticism or something. But I take from many places. But it's definitely not Buddhism. It may have Buddhist aspects, but it's not Buddhism. Exactly, we have been indoctrinated. Exactly. Strive to break free and become what makes you happy and help others, communities, and are a great idea. We need to come together. Yes, Laura, we do. We are all here to help each other and not be divided. Yes, the fact human beings have to spend time and earn money just to, whoops, dang it. The fact that human beings have to spend time and earn money to survive is super crazy. Yeah, time is worth much more. Owning anything is a huge lie. It's all about working to pay the man and government. I will add to that, Paddington, that there is a lie. So I'm going to tell you something that's important to know, that we are being subjected to psychological judo, is how I would call it. I'm pretty sure it's a judo that does this. So what you're saying about owning anything is a huge lie. There's also a huge lie perpetuated that we should not own anything. We should not own anything and be happy, for those of you who know what I'm talking about. This idea that communism is the answer, because the newer generations weren't taught. I think I was part of the last generations that were still taught that communism is freaking bad. And then the younger generations, they stopped teaching them what communism is. So they're pushing this idea of this utopia where no one owns anything and everyone is shared and blah, blah, blah. And that is a literal impossibility, because someone has to control the division and all that. In this context, it is, what's the word? It's, pardon my not able to use good words right now thing, but most people can own nothing. Most people can share the resources, but then who's going to own stuff? Who is going to make the rules and dictate and make sure that everyone gets their stuff divided properly? It is a small group of people that will own everything. Bill Gates owns most of the farmland. He will own all the farmland, or together the elite will own all the farmland. It was a small group of people will own everything. They will own everything, and we will own nothing. And they will feed it to us as if it's some utopian solution to inequality, when in reality it's just deeper slavery. It's a lie. So be careful about that. So the psychological judo thing is, I think it's judo. Correct me if I'm wrong. There is a martial art where basically what you're doing is using your opponent's weight against them. Hold on a second. I have to turn the light on because what is going on with this? Huh. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. Is that better? Did I suddenly appear? All right. Okay. Okay, so I think it's judo, where you use your opponent's weight against them. So instead of you using your force to hit them, you wait till they hit you, and then you grab them, and they all already have motion. They're an object in motion. So they're hitting you, right? So you grab them, and their motion, you just use it against them, and you throw them. You just grab them as they're already going and throw them. So you're using their energy against them. And that's what I'm talking about. And they do this to us psychologically, where they push against something, and we're like, okay, If this offends you, I don't know why you're here. So I'm not going to hide how I feel about this whole gender BS. So I am pro LGB and I am anti gaslighting. Okay. I'm anti butchering children and lying to people about their gender. I'm anti making women disappear as a gender. Okay. So what they do is they tell you that, when did it start? Because they started with like, okay, so gay sex is bad, like that people shouldn't be gay and blah, 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 right? Okay, obviously that's not my opinion. I'm saying that that was what we were told, right? Oh, it's bad to be gay, it's evil to be gay. And so people eventually woke up to the fact that that's not, doesn't make any sense. You see two people, maybe you make friends with two people who are gay and they love each other and they're beautiful people, and you're like, why do I hate them? Why am I trying to stop them from loving each other? That's just the way that they are. And why am I fighting against this? So then society starts to wake up to this notion that they've been fed this lie. So that's the pushing against this being gay is bad, right? And so then people start to wake up and they start pushing back, and they're like, no, it's okay to be gay. What is your problem? Stop trying to force us to not love each other. What is this? And so you're pushing, and that's when the enemy takes your momentum and they use it against you. And then they're like, you're right. Not only is it okay to be gay, but men and women are the same thing, and anybody can be anything, and women don't even exist anymore. You understand what I'm saying? So if they want you to think a certain way, they push you in a certain opposite direction that doesn't make sense. You start pushing back, and then they take your energy and they make you believe something absolutely fucking ridiculous. That's the mental judo that I'm talking about. So, okay, here we are. Is this workspace open and available 24/7? Yes, Jim, it is. Aliens, don't get me started, right? Okay, first time. Wait, I remember the first time I heard a couple people wanting free energy, and I got upset because I was stuck in the mindset that we must work hard for everything. I didn't understand. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Agreed. They say 2030 we will own nothing and be happy, but who really owns anything now? They can take our cars, license, homes, property if we don't follow the rules. Exactly. Are you still planning on coming to the US? Absolutely. Do you have a passport or do you need a visa? Also, how are you affording gas? I'm going to afford gas because I'm not going to the States for a couple months, and by then a lot will have changed, and I will have more money in theory. I do have a passport. Something. So when it comes to being spiritual, what is being spiritual to you is the same as believing in God. I see myself as a spiritual person. It is not the same thing as believing in God, though I believe that in order to be spiritual, you need to accept the essential principle is the fact that you accept that what is tangible in the physical realm is not all that exists, and you are willing to explore beyond that. God, so I mean, maybe I'm wrong with that initial answer because it depends on what you mean by God. Because if you accept that there is something bigger than yourself, then yes. If you think that there is an old man with a beard in the sky that hates people that do the wrong thing, no. And I would call that not spiritual. I would call that cultish. I wouldn't even necessarily call it religious, but religious or cultish. That's why I don't call myself religious, because for me, spirituality gives me the option to question things and question my own beliefs without having to do paperwork, go through this whole process of, not literal paperwork, but going through a process of leaving a religion. So when I am a godmother, and when I went to, because I was raised Christian, and when I went to the church to do the whole training thing to be a godmother or whatever, I told the priest, I'm like, yeah, so like he would be telling us stuff, like preaching to us, and I'd be like, well, actually, Emperor Constantine edited the Bible, and then I would tell them things, and it goes against what they believe. And so and I'm like, well, I believe in incarnation, and I think that that's totally reasonable to believe in incarnation and not be going against Christian beliefs or the teachings of Christ, because supposedly Christianity is about the teachings of Christ. But there are people who believe in the teachings of Christ and explore the teachings of Christ. And then there are people who go to a building and let the man standing on the podium tell them what to think. And that is religion. And spirituality is the ability to say, to discuss, to question, to say, well, when Jesus says this, or when it says this in the Bible, I think it meant like this and this, or possibly da 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 da, or how would I apply that in real life? But when you go to an institution, in my experience, they're like, no, if you believe in incarnation, you can't be a godmother because you're not a Christian. So I had to say, I don't believe in reincarnation. And I really did not like doing that, but I did it because I love my God baby. Yeah. And so if an institution is telling you that you can't discuss or question, that is bordering on cult mentality, because cults do not let you question. And I do not like that. I do not support that. And most churches, most institutions do not follow the teachings of Christ. They call themselves Christian, and they do not follow the teachings of Christ. The Vatican and all of the church, very heavily hijacked by Satanists, deeply hiding PDF files. Hiding very bad things that they really shouldn't, doing bad things that they really shouldn't. These stupid rules about priests having to be celibate that puts them in situations where they end up, and it's not an excuse, but I'm just saying it's an environment that encourages deviancy, because they have an unrealistic expectation for a human being put in that situation. It's just, I'm not down. I'm not down. That's what I'm saying. So I hope that answers your question. Most can't even get a loan for 20-year mortgage. Word. I got into van life for 3 reasons: to break everything, right on, to reach my higher self, to live and love, right on, to give of myself. I love that. And break free from the world attachments. Right on. What? Where am I? Dang it! Keeps moving. Oh my God, I'm lost again. There we go. Okay, I used to think people that wanted free energy were lazy and entitled. That's how brainwashed I was. Oh, yeah. I mean, I can't relate, but I can understand. Kind of like how you parent a child, you lead by example, because if you tell them exactly, exactly, they won't listen. Vibrational being, right on, Gypsy. Natural law, Mark Passio. Yes, girl, that's exactly what I was referencing. Yeah. Laura got it. Never heard of that before. No one owns anything. Essentially, no one owns anything, but in the legality sense of how this whole system is enforced by people in believing in things, because you're right, Constant Van Life, no one owns anything, but people believe that people own things. And then, so a law doesn't mean shit. I mean, a human enforced law doesn't mean shit, not a natural law, unless enough people believe it. So you either have people who believe it and therefore comply because they believe it, or you have people who believe it and therefore enforce. So Trudeau doesn't come to your house and put a pew pew to your head and make you do what he wants you to do. Instead, he tells the RCMP, and the RCMP goes to your house puts a pew pew to your head and tells you what to do. I mean, not literally, that's not how they do it, but you understand what I'm saying. Is that they use people's belief that something is real to enforce that thing, that we either comply because of our own belief in our own responsibility to comply, or we believe that we need to enforce other people and we keep other people in check. We are keeping each other in this prison because essentially beneath all that, any law that is set by human is not a law. It is only a belief that other people comply to. When people don't understand history is literally repeating itself. Absolutely, exactly. Remember who the ones fighting for communism in communist countries, and now they are regretting it. Yeah. That's why I took civics out of high school, at least here in New York. Perhaps we are just consumers, essentially. I need lights. This must be a while ago. Dang it. Okay, I'm going to try to skim through these. Concept is deceptive exactly. Well, we are dependent on them. Be a good, skillful citizen. Do your part and save the planet. I can see you now. Okay, cool. I'm not that far off. Only way to get out is to live off grid. I mean, essentially, in a way, here's the thing. Here's another tangent. Fine, whatever. I have another 3 pages of comments to catch up on. When I first moved into the van, my intention was that I didn't know how things were going to play out, and I wanted to prepare for whatever was going to come to pass. And I wanted to start learning to live off grid in case I had to, and getting a feel for what it was needed and all this other stuff, right? So that was my intention. That's why I got the power station with the solar panel and the Berkey filter and right? And now that I've lived through that for over a year, I recognize that van life is not off grid whatsoever. Okay. And everyone who says that it's off grid is either not seeing what I'm seeing or is just a liar because they're trying to get clicks, and they know that certain words get clicks, whatever. You still need on-grid gas, you need on-grid propane, you need on-grid food, you need on-grid X, Y, Z, blah, 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 okay? So being off-grid, yes, I believe that a lot of people are doing it, and a lot more people are going to be doing it in the very near future, and that it's a direction that we are likely headed in society, at the very least, to have that option. But it is a much more dramatic change than I expected. But also, honestly, I do think at some point we're going to have free energy, but what happens between now and then, maybe that's what the golden age is, free energy. But between now and then, in order to get that, to break free of, because energy is control, energy is the system that we live in. We live, like, there's a reason we're still on gas, and it has nothing to do with our inability to have any other resource for energy. And these electric cars are not free energy. These electric cars are just another leash. It's an even shorter leash, because not only can you only go where there's those stupid plug-in stations, but if they want to shut your car off, they can. So it's an even shorter leash. But the petrol is how the economy works. The entire slave system runs based on oil. So that's why all these, like, free energy has been invented and reinvented and reinvented and reinvented and reinvented and reinvented over and over and over and over again since probably before Tesla. Nikola Tesla, not Elon Musk. And they just kill everyone because it's the biggest threat to their power. So it's an uphill battle. I don't know. It's a conversation for another day. Sorry. It sounds good. We were being manipulated. There's a great documentary online with Slab City. Slab City. Oh, I think I've heard of that. Crazy place. Back in the day, it was bad. Slab City was bad. It's okay. Yeah. People talking to each other. People are changing. That stuff really started in 2012. If you're coming to the US, which I am, yes, I have a driveway in Futon. Thank you very much. A lot of people offer me this stuff, but I doubt I will ever use it. I greatly appreciate it, but I really like to be on my own, guys. I live 2 miles from Niagara Falls and pay huge electric bills. Isn't that insane? Doesn't that make you so? I mean, don't want to encourage you to feel angry, but oh my God. Mark Passio, Sunday, 12 noon Eastern on YouTube explains the nightmare we're all living in. Yes, I agree. Evolve yourself. Yeah, anybody who wants to listen to Mark Passio, he's the dude, except take him with a grain of salt because he's a little bit arrogant, but his information is phenomenal. I imagine when I pass, I can travel the whole universe. Probably. I mean, you could probably do it now if you worked on meditation. Like have you heard of what's that Bob Monroe CIA thing? What's it called? This something Gateway Project. Look up the Gateway Project. I imagine, okay, religion is to everything this way only, and pay this, or you burn for eternity. Exactly. Oh my God, I really believe about the Vatican. That's because it's true. I'm a Jesus follower. That's what I tell people if they ask my religion. PDF files. I didn't come up with that PDF files. It's appropriate. So many Christians, I know Jesus would be so disappointed. Absolutely. I am not an angel, but the Christians I know are straight up frauds, fakes. No to religion for me. Awesome. My religion is being in nature and feeling spirituality. Right on, Burning. They preach to me, tell me how to live my life, and everyone else's, but they get to do what they want, and Jesus forgives them. Yeah. Figuratively, pew, exactly. What I meant was asked if you believe in God. If if I am a Christian. I'm not a Christian. I'm more into nature cause and Native people in Norway. That's awesome. I love that. I hope I answered that question. I'm not religious. I use the word God, but when I say the word God, I'm actually talking about the divine force that is the ultimate creative consciousness that we all basically come from. This kind of thing. It's a concept that is to be explored, but essentially we understand what we're talking about. So I'll use the word God or I'll use the word universe, even though I don't think that the word universe is a good word to use for what we're talking about. And I'll explore that at a later date because I'll just get into it at a different time, whatever. Thank you, Oreo, but I do believe in something. Right on. Just like the thingy, we've all turned against each other. Yep. They say we must take one for the team, and we are all in this together. No thanks. Oop. Why? Next time I'm going to look at the comments on my phone. This is ridiculous. Remind me next time, if you're here early, that I should be checking the comments on my phone because for some reason it's way easier to scroll on my phone than this. And also you don't see my face in the corner the whole time. My dad died in June. I'm sorry, constant van life. He left behind a house and vehicles. He owned it at death, but really, did he own it? Exactly. I'm recognizing that I'm going to end the stream soon because I'm going to go warm up the car for the cats and put the heated blanket on. It's not that cold here, but it's cold enough that it's time to go check on them. Okay. It would be almost impossible to live off grid. Even the Amish have to come into town to make money. Yes, and the Amish shop at Walmart. Unless I just pot or come back to the stream. I don't know, whatever. Mennonites, they are like the Amish. I used to see them all the time. It would be funny to see a horse and buggy at Walmart. I've seen that, man. Well, I haven't seen a horse and buggy, maybe not, but definitely the Mennonites. Are you Northeast Ohio, Western PA? Me? I'm definitely not anywhere in those things. I'm in Canada. Constant van life, sorry for your loss. Yes. The Amish hired drivers. Oh yeah, that's right, eh? They can't drive themselves or something? Stanley Meyer's water car and that guy with the over Unity device. I don't know what you're referencing, but I'll try to look it up later, Laura. DMT. Yep. Where the heck? I keep losing my place. And the batteries in electric cars don't last very long. And once the battery won't charge anymore, the key is kaput. Yeah, that's it. There's a bunch of problems with them. I know I can't afford no damn electric car, but they all want us at home in our boxes. That's exactly it. Because it's the kind of saying God is outward when God is inside of us. Good one, Rainbow. I'm sorry. This is interesting. Oh, thanks, constant van life. When we're taught to raise our hands and praise and worship God, that doesn't make sense. God is inside us. Exactly. Sure, they miss you. Yeah, not just that, but since the sun, when the sun is up, it's warm. Like I check on them, but it's warm. But the sun has gone down, so the temperature has dropped, and now I want to make sure that they're warm. I couldn't afford an electric car neither. Good thing they cost too much. Exactly. Good thing they cost too much. So we have not been put on them yet. Have a great night and pet the kitties. Thank you, Birding Diaries. Thank you very much for joining us, and hope to see you next time. You could try to burn some sage in the office if you're really anxious or ghost. Yeah, I might. I have to go. Thanks, Goth of 69 Nor. 3 cats in a minivan must be a lot of upkeep. It is. Yes, I have one big litter box with a cover, and I change it like twice or scoop it like twice a day. But I get the expensive litter. The expensive litter is absolutely worth it. Okay, bye, Content Van Life. Thank you. Okay, so everybody's kind of tapping out, and we have dropped like half the followers. I think I should probably call it a night, to be honest, because not only do I have to go check on the kitties, but I have to get back to work because I am supposed to be finishing several projects right now, which I'm not doing because I am talking to you guys, which I love. A litter robot. I'm scared. They scare me. Okay, so okay, I think I'm gonna end the stream. And I want to thank you guys very much. And I'm so psyched that we got to talk about this stuff because this is like my favorite topic. And you know, it's pretty crazy because on this channel, I didn't think I would get away with it. But it's funny, because I think we have these beliefs or understandings or whatever. And a lot of people are more awake than we know because we don't always know how awake everyone else around us is and how they're going to receive the information. So we just keep it to ourselves. But look at this. I start talking about weird shit and everybody's on board. Isn't that crazy? So good to know, man. Good to know. You are my peoples. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, guys, so much. Yeah, I probably did, Judah. Thank you, IMO. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Rainbow. Thanks, guys, so much. I will talk to you soon. Thank you very much for joining me. Bye. Also, check out quest.west.com. Okay, bye.